Map critique stream ? Accepting WIPs and released courses. Anything goes as long as you tried. LMAO. And then in the streams channel, on my own Discord, I just global. And use the title of the stream because I'm a lazy piece of shit. Yes. I'm the best. I don't know how many people I actually expect to filter in for this, but, I don't know. I'm trying to decide what I should go after first. Because I'm sure, somebody's gonna submit something before long, but in the meantime, I don't... Oh, hey, Trailblazer's here. Let's get Trailblazer on mic. Hello. I think card is absurdly loud and I need to adjust my volume a little bit.
That's just like me all the time.
Yeah, I switched to a new build and I immediately had to turn Cart's volume down to 20% again. The SRB2 Special. So...
What server is this on?
Nothing.
Right now I'm just local.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure, should I do like hell maps or community pack first while I'm waiting on people to fucking submit their shit for death?
Oh. Interesting.
Well, let me fucking log out of 14.
I'm doing Joker Cup.
You think I should? Alright.
You changed the music here. Now it's just Bingo Highway.
Alright, let's see. How'd you get that extended volume bar? That's a Windows 10 utility called Ear Trumpet. It's one of my favorites. Alright,
Ear Trumpet.
So let's go ahead and add...
Okay.
2.2 is the latest, right, on Joker Grand Prix?
Yes.
Cool.
Oh, this path got changed. That's pretty good.
Alright. So I guess I can just go through. We played most of these courses in a private net game, and they are rough around the edges in some hopefully pretty easy to fix places. This fucking stacked set right there where you go through the UFOs and then immediately just don't... Wait.
Wait.
Huh? So we have a stacked set of items right away, and then what feels like a super contradictory sign, where you have an entire area over here that looks like it's an alternate part of the course until you realize that it's not. And the sign is indicating the shortcut path, which is off-road, rather than the main path.
Yeah, that was one of my complaints.
Like, if that sign's gonna be there, it should probably be reversed.
I guess you really wanted to
Pointless do not enter sign. Oh, man. So this section... I made it. Alright, there's a lot to cover. So... Okay, at least this is a drop, so the map is probably immune to checkpoint abuse.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, there it is. I'm sitting here like, what is the hitbox on this fucking thing? But, I don't know about dark section with, puddle directly obscured by item boxes and lighting. That doesn't seem like a fair hazard to me. Like, the off-road is already kind of pushing it here because it's really difficult to navigate. Probably especially in a crowded net game where most people will likely be fairly close at this point in at the start of the race. But then the magnets and the off-road push it way over the top. And
you should have seen the older versions.
This is... So this is a really common thing, I think. Upward slope into really fast turn. even if you put a sign there, if you don't have sights on the actual, like, path, you need to give players time to adjust. I don't see anyone taking this correctly blind. Because you actually don't have much time to focus on it either, because while you're navigating this section, you're dodging 3 different patches of off-road, and your eye is drawn to the fucking panel with the mid-texture. And then, oh hey, I'm already in an area that's modeled for no reason again? It seems like this entire section here with the off-road exists to do nothing but punishing you for not reading the blind turn. And then... ah.
Yeah, this section fucked with me.
I think in our test games, I think most people accidentally lawn mowed the shortcut before even noticing there was a turn. And it's because you have a lot of contradictory information here. You have a lot of contrasting colors that are, like, confusing you as to where your fucking eye is actually supposed to be drawn. You have this brightly saturated orange over there on that building. You have a brightly saturated blue on this building. You have the signs here that aren't actually bright red the entire time. Fucking do not enter sign behind it. And then the spike ball. So if you're coming into this at anything remotely approaching intended speed, kind of feels like sensory overload, where the main path is actually hidden from you, and the path you shouldn't be taking the majority of the time is presented as the main route. Like, once again, the arrows are not enough. Thanks to Venus and Fosker, by the way. I'm going to be trying to focus on critique, but I do appreciate it. So, let me fucking... actually, add a file, rig.lua. Okay.
You said, like, we would just accidentally lawnmower it, but it's not lawnmowering, it's more like suffering.
Yeah.
Like, it's very hard off-road.
Boost versus item trade-off here. I think this topic has been covered to death, but I don't think these are generally good design. It just makes it easier for first to front run. In this section here, very clear contrast between the walls and the road, very easy to read. Not sure why those yellow springs are necessary, but, wait. Why? I don't know if this has sufficient contrast. Maybe it's me being on OGL and seeing the model version of the ball. Let me see how this looks on sprites. Okay, yeah, on sprites it's a little clearer. On models, it definitely feels pretty close to the color of the wall backing it. I think maybe if you're going to have this here, and it doesn't feel like an exceptionally inspired hazard to place right in front of a boost pad, then maybe mark the floor in some way to make it clear of the danger radius. Alright. Those pits are blind, by the way. I know they're marked, but they're actually blind, and that doesn't read like a teleporter. So, then maybe I should just do a full-ass lap when doing critique before stopping to, like, cover target locations. It's like, now that I've done a lap of the course and to know the layout, it's going to seem significantly less egregious, but it's not really plausibly sight-readable IMO. Oh yeah, these yellow springs have an issue where if you do end up lawnmowering through the cut by mistake, then at the speed you're at when you come out, or if you get like hit by an item or something, you can be at a speed that allows you to die on that yellow spring jump.
Yeah.
I think blue diagonal springs fix that. You probably shouldn't be able to die on that section, just for like not having speed. I don't understand why that hazard is there. I have kind of a personal distaste of cycle-based hazards, so... Oh, there's an item here. Okay, so is that another boost versus item trade-off, or... I don't know.
If it isn't, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, can I just point out the fact that there's like one small section of the minimap that's colored while everything else is just normal?
Oh yeah, that is kind of strange, isn't it?
Yeah, like I know it's supposed to like signify the fact that it's like the red and blue fucking tunnel, but there's no difference with the red or blue side. It's literally just colored.
I think this turn is probably one of the most like There's a lot of turns that are effectively blind you on your first time, but this one is probably the worst defender. I don't think I've seen anyone not try to lawn mow the cut when playing this for the first time.
Unintentionally, of course. Because I did that shit like twice, and then I realized, oh shit.
Yeah, also those pits just don't read as pits, and I don't understand the use of the exporters when from the location that you're approaching from, it's red on red.
Yeah, it's literally
so they're
just the same
effectively
color.
invisible. I think if you... I don't know how I feel about the animated textures here. Pretty busy to figure out what you're even looking at. Makes depth perception a little tricky, IMO. But some other way of delineating the edge of the pit would probably make it more obvious that it's fucked up. And yeah, another boost versus item trade-off here, where it actually goes out of its way to cap you, speed cap you on Yellow Springs for the item. So I anticipate front-running issues among people who actually understand how to take the map, which is a hurdle on its own, I don't know.
It's pretty strong.
I guess I should just keep moving.
What I will say is that I like the little artwork on each of the thumbnails.
And yeah, Tyonic, after I go through Joker Pack, I'm down to check out an in-depth dimension break. So...
This map is
that
just
section,
big.
nothing really to report. Not super interesting. Turn isn't bad. Not super visually exciting. This is egregious. This is terrible.
Wait, is
Just
that all
because
off-road?
you have very little
No.
time to adjust to the fact that that ramp is there. I think most people in our test games wall bonked. And if you bonk here, you spend such an agonizing amount of time getting back up. Like, why doesn't that ramp extend across the whole thing? That's a cute cut. I think that's pretty fun. I don't really understand what's going on with this section. That item culling is pretty crazy, though. I
think the section
as
is
a
just
broad
like-
rule, I'd say that if your map breaks the engine, you might want to consider modifying the layout to some extent. I think this is, with the exception of the hell ramp, considerably more friendly. Layout is generally pretty enjoyable. I think the, why do I get the feeling that you can fucking take that cut sneakerless on hard speed? I know you almost certainly can. Maybe a
on
higher
what
speed
the
character can?
Oh,
You
yeah.
can water
you
skip.
can definitely.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way you can.
No, he respawns on the ground.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. That's something I don't catch a lot. So you want to avoid the ground respawn because it's kind of intended for you to have a drop dash ready. I mostly just don't understand this section. Doesn't seem like it has a lot going on, and the item cull issue is pretty crazy.
Again, I think it's just the problem that it's way too wide.
Let me like play Omega and try to right spark across that or something.
It's just big and empty.
Yeah.
Compared to
Let's
older
see.
versions, it's got stuff in it at least, but it's still kind of big and empty.
Maple brings up that the bamboo all has collision on it, which seems like a disaster waiting to happen in net games. Like if you get shot into the bamboo, you're spending a whole fuck ton of time trying to get out.
It's collision because it's not bamboo, it's just big pillars.
Yeah, it's a rock.
It's a rock.
Top route here is also a little weird because this might be edging on like Tyron is blind territory, but it doesn't feel like there's, with the item set kind of obscuring this to begin with, it doesn't feel like there's enough of a contrast between the floor and the wall to actually discern where this platform ends.
I don't know. I mean,
That's
you can
super
kinda
edge
tell by,
case.
like,
I'd probably have somebody
Yeah.
else verify that. I forgot to do the thing. So when I go through that section with the fucking red.
I mean, I'll just say that I went through the top route every time, all 3 laps, and kind of didn't have a problem with figuring out where to turn.
There's swamps here.
It kind of looks like, to me, like top route is strictly better than lower route, but I didn't see how many boost pads were on the bottom route.
I don't think there are any.
Oh yeah, because there's actually a fucking boost pad here, although right up against the wall is pretty rough.
Yeah, I hate that fucking... Do not place boost pads near a wall, because that's just fucking disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah, I think with right angle you could probably get this.
Maybe.
Like you approach it, you approach it a little bit more laterally, and you can probably hit the springs in some way.
You might be able to get it with a little bit of brake drifting before you leave the ground.
Yeah. I'm also not really Wait, hold on. So if you miss the springs, even while taking the cut with the intended item, okay, sometimes you make it. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be wary of something there, but I'm not exactly an exploit hunter.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
going on in this section? Why would you ever be here? Especially when there's an invisible pit. Like, if you're taking this side to get away from the item chaos that's probably happening when the other side is trapped to hell. Okay, so you hop the pit. There's fucking physics there. So it doesn't kill you, it's just empty and boring, I guess?
Yeah, and if you hit someone that's trying to jump over it, you can just fuck them over.
What are these?
Or
Yeah,
get
just-
someone while they're going up to the ramp, they won't have enough speed to make it over the pit.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I can, like... I have no fucking idea how to play Omega.
I do.
XD.
Trail, don't you
I'm
know how to
actually
play
wondering
the
if I should
almost
load that,
Yeah, I know how to
who
play all
made the
things.
tape deck replay script?
I don't remember.
I'm wondering if that would help with this process.
What the heck? This is an 8.
But yeah, I think
don't
just
like
in
it.
general, it seems like... This is like the opposite of Joker City, where it's just wide roads with not a whole lot going on. One pad to path to,
It's
basically
very
per
sight
section.
readable, but it's sight readable, but boring as fuck.
Yeah, I think mostly, there's absolutely
there's-
no reason to allow people to shoot themselves in the foot here.
Okay, wait, back up, back up. I saw the boost pad on the bottom row.
Yeah?
There is one boost pad.
Yep, one boost pad, and it's near a wall again, not directly on it.
This
but
one
it's
is directly
near the-
adjacent to the wall, I think. Like, no margin.
Yeah.
Which is pretty rough. Nice wheel.
Oh no.
I posted the tape deck Lua in voice text.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Keek says, AJ, critique Bowser's Castle 3. It's good. Because it's a port of Bowser's Castle 3, which was the goal.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but how do you...
The original
View it
Bowser's
as, like,
Castle
actual
3 sucked, but that's not the fault of the person who ported it. Alright, let's see. I don't actually know how to use tape deck. You need custom binds, right? Six F when
I have
pasting
no
in the
idea,
console. Feels good.
I just grabbed it from the MB. I don't really know how to like.
Yeah. You'd have to ask James or someone else with more understanding of this shit.
Oh yeah, it's just a Lua, isn't it? Let me...
It's not just a loop.
SRB2 tape deck. Wow, that was way less helpful than I thought it was going to be. Fantastic.
Also, what the fuck is that screen?
I thought my previous wallpaper was a little bit too good, so I changed it.
That's fair.
That sounds pretty good.
Glorious.
Understandable.
I'm gonna adjust my volume a little bit here. Oh hey, somebody posted in the host mod thread. Hello, I am currently mad at this mod because the cancel method isn't working anymore. In fact, the message for how to do it doesn't show up. DOSENT''T show up anymore either. Quote.
Funny.
Cannot reproduce. Check which version you're running.
Did you actually try to reproduce?
I mean, it's not a good post, but it was a post in my thread. Somebody bothered.
That's fair.
Alright, tape loop training. Custom 1, hold to rewind time. All I need, baby! Alright, let's see. What was I?
I don't like this.
So I think
I'm going
I
ahead
don't
playing
have a
on
lot
the
to
other
say about
track.
Sunset Riverside. Apart from the ramp and the gigantic empty item cull section, nothing seems wrong with it per se. Just it's got a neat aesthetic. I like the music choice. Think maybe a little more detailing and rethinking some of the wider empty paths would probably do it a lot of good.
Lazuli, what's wrong with the Knicks? What? I didn't make the jump. Why?
Alright, so if I...
Joker, you gotta fix it.
That's pretty cool. That's actually going to be really helpful.
Oh, sweet man.
Alright, visibility's
This
a
map
little
is
whack
kinda-
here because walls are the same texture as the floor. That turn seems a little fast. Spike ball doesn't seem thematically appropriate there, but I guess. Actually, I'm not sure what the theme is here.
It's supposed to be.
Oh, those are
Sun
boost
colors.
pads. Okay. So if
It's
I...
a combination of sweets and machinery, but it's more likely just machinery.
Those spots in between the enemies. Like,
Whoa!
Hold up, we gotta do that again.
You just slide off.
You gotta see that. You gotta be looking ahead before you land on the intermediate platform. Because the intermediate platform almost kind of blocks the area here.
Yeah.
I also
That's
had no
kinda-
clue how long this turn was, so...
That lower section could stand to be a little
Alright,
bit wider.
Yeah,
So
I'm
here's
kind
something
of
that's really
wondering-
easy. These yellow springs...
Don't make
moving
it.
around and played on easy speed, these yellow springs kill you on easy speed. Free information.
Yeah.
Remember to test your maps on all difficulties, people.
Actually, fuck easy speed, but it's worth noting, I guess.
I mean, yeah, but like at the same time, like if there are people that want to play on easy speed, like, you know.
I'm kind of wondering if that one like ramp before you like the one ramp with the speed boost, if you just like brake on that, you can like. I'm wondering if you can like skip a section or if there's like a death bit
I'm
there.
getting Toxic Palace 2 vibes. That ending.
Toxic Palace
That's
2.
literally
Yeah, that's pretty it.
Palace.
The ramps are very Midnight Channel
This could
classic.
probably use some kind of indicator going into it. Okay, so...
Remember when those used to not be
Upward
solid?
sloped turn. It's not enough to put a sign on these. You have to not have them. You have to not have them, or you have to give people enough time to see the track that they're actually going on next. If I can't see the path, I don't know what it is, no matter what you signal. Right turn is not enough.
The classic Barkley
That's
route
kind of an
thing
interesting
of
slalom bit. You have the option to like go for slalom or to like weave between the mobs. Feels a little thematically disjointed, but I like a lot of the elements here. Some of these paths seem kind of awkward to route out for. I get that it's probably the point, but I'm not sure whether I'm okay with it. Yeah, let's...
This shortcut is actually really strong.
Yeah, let me actually give myself... Yeah, that skips a ridiculous amount of course. Holy.
And
It's
Joker kind of
comparatively close to the end of the lap, too.
Yeah. And he hides it by putting a bunch of sneaker panels on the main path so you can kind
Actually,
of
am I
keep up.
insane? Where are the item sets in this course? I feel like I've seen basically
Nowhere.
none.
Wait, there can be none. There's no fucking way.
There's only like 2, I think.
Yeah, so with so few item sets, having a volatile cut on the back half of the course feels kind of dangerous.
Feels like you gotta smuggle to make it work.
I'm
You're
bad
a
at those thrift stores in
super-
general, so I'm gonna refrain from laying into people about it. Because I know most of my criticism is going to come down to I'm bad at it, so I don't like it.
I mean, there's probably a reason why Midnight Channel Classic
Yeah.
set those out for Midnight Channel 2 and placed in the spring jumps.
This turn's probably the most egregious, though. There's a bunch of visual clutter on the outside that, like, almost kind of looks like potential alt paths if you're taking it at speed. I don't know. And then there's also
When
the
was the
entry,
last time
which
you
is
got an
not
item?
possible.
When was the last time you got an item?
I don't remember, actually.
You were like at halfway through the map. You got a little more half to go, and there's no item boxes.
Yeah, this
There's literally like
this is weird.
no
I don't
item
think
box.
I've ever seen a mapper actually just like not place item sets in their course.
Wait,
There's no items.
there's no items.
Omega
Wait, am I
mains,
screwing
this is your
up?
track.
Am I screwing up? Am I loading fucking SPB attack or something?
No,
I think you
SPB
might
attack
have- I
deletes
think
the
you
item
might have-
sets on a course when the SPB
I-
spawns, but
I think you turned off items by mistake.
wait. How do you what?
does tape deck do this or something?
Hold on. Go back to an earlier course you were trying out and see if that like changed anything.
Yeah, let me like go to a vanilla map where I know where the sets are.
Okay, there's a set right here after the first ramp.
Maybe tape deck is like a record attack training thing and it deletes item sets. Yep, okay.
Yeah, I think it does that.
That's kind of
Yeah.
unfortunate, actually. Let me actually... It's just a script, right? Hold on.
2, 3.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't know.
It's now a code
I'm
stream.
guessing there's a setting.
Every
that you
single
can
time I fucking stream cart, this is what happens to me. Literally every time. Let's put on, where is Wolf's favorite song?
Okay, there were around 4 to 5 item sets on here on this map.
change. Okay, then.
Wow!
A lot.
You actually control-seed my fucking script, which I control-seed from Emperor!
6.
Nice.
It's my code.
And this is good.
I can't believe we didn't notice that the 6 item sets were missing.
KL, fuck. God damn it, Tyro, buddy. What is this?
Alright,
Okay, back to what I was doing. Arctic Lagoon.
let's see.
I'm never not gonna laugh at something stupid like that.
Alright,
important not to
so
get versions.
that wasn't fair. Let's actually play Sweet Mountain with item sets on.
Ooh.
Actually, let me
Right,
really
is it?
quickly actually set up a fucking, since I know the game is gonna crash on me constantly. Let me set up a fucking alias for, map testing.
Ah! Dang it.
Heart speed, hard, wait 5, Eve, wait 5, add file, kale underscore fuck dot lua.
Yeah, I agree.
Alright, so now we got a testing alias we can use. My apologies to Joker for testing his map with no item sets using a script that I didn't fully understand. It's weird to see my own code in that, though. Like, including the comment attributing it to fucking Emperor. Wow,
It's all
those
his
are actually...
fault.
Now, those are really closely spaced. Plus, if you're record attacking, you don't really have any time to spend the shoe before you get pushed onto a booster and another set.
Yeah.
Tyrone, try breaking on this next round.
On the,
I tried breaking on that ramp. Don't
the
do
one that I
it.
just went over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Weird ramp.
Oh!
No, I told you
what's
not to
checkpoint
do
debug?
it.
What's checkpoint debug?
You can complete the you just tested it.
Oh no. Alright,
Wow. So you can just skip. Wow.
so that's
Yeah, you
pretty
can just skip the
bad.
entire map.
So he has to add a death plane there, otherwise that's kind of shitty.
Yeah, and then how many item sets do we have before And you've got one more set after
Yeah,
that.
you almost set
cut.
right after this turn.
And then you've got like a straightaway that already has boost pads on it, so comeback potential after that cut pretty limited, I'd say. Obviously would have to test with people, but my gut feeling is that...
Wait.
Oh no.
Why does this have physics on it?
Actually, why am I even bothering to try and drift store there when there's a set of fucking boosters there anyway? That's my fault.
Instinct.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the boosters don't really need to be there. Like it is a difficult
Yeah,
drift
there's
store,
a
but I'd like
lot
there
of
to be
boost panels in this course.
There's a lot of boost panels in every course.
Again,
you
I
spend a
think
good
this course-
majority of this course at speed. Also, the white mid texture on the white floor texture, not super visible. The thing about like fucking track elements that are pasted directly onto the floor is that you almost always need some kind of additional indicator. I like the little sign for that cut. This section
This
is kind
cut
of
is
dreary
nuts.
compared to the rest of the course, which is like Technicolor fucking sprinkle land. A little bit of detailing in there, maybe?
I have to like remember what the original Sweet Mountain looked like.
Alright, so Whispering Mansion.
It looked kind of the same, except these long ramps were short ramps.
So I see a lot of pads right away again. Oh my goodness, so many boost pads.
Yeah, this entire turn is
Oh
just
my
pads.
god, why would you even want sneakers from that first set?
Oh, hello, Ghost Valley
Sweet
N64.
pad, sweet boost pad, sweet boost pad. Here are thwomps, remember them.
That's gonna be a problem in net games. That's
It
like
is a
mine
problem.
activation
Wait, there's a
distance.
shadow there? Hold on.
There's a shadow coming in and going out.
Yeah, that's a little egregious. Also, gray on gray double spike ball turn, sloped. Seems like it
Toxic
might be a
Palace
little
again.
unfriendly.
Joker's maps are literally, hey, what parts of Toxic Palace can I put into this part of the map?
Be nice.
I know.
Whoa! I couldn't see this part properly.
Off-roads and hazards here.
Off-road on the
I
left.
actually
spikes
think that
on the
transition is kind of cool, breaking the wall on lap 1.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
Man,
but
does
first
it ever
place
feel
is gonna
useless to pull
suffer.
sneakers in this course, though? Jesus.
for that ramp, actually, it is possible if you like drift store it incorrectly to like completely skip the lap count.
Funny.
Yeah,
I think
so
you have
this
to, like,
is
go back.
this is an unavoidable cycle hazard. If you're on the wrong cycle, you actually just lose time guaranteed here.
Also, the shadow knockup is super strong. I don't know if it's changing
I-
this, but
It's
That's
not.
that's how it
Don't
is
know
for basically
whether
shadows.
this fits the theme, but I think it's funny enough that I'm going to encourage you to keep it and in fact add more.
Oh no, it's Cosmic Eclipse. I'm just kidding.
But yeah. Pretty light on detailing in this section. Maybe the bookshelves all the way around. And then, yeah, this needs an alternate path. This needs either a path that's slightly slower but always safe, or it needs, like, some different way entirely of fucking approaching this hazard, because, like, I put a mine here, game over for the next person.
Yeah.
That's not even fun. I
There's
also
also a
have
shadow
fog
coming
off,
out.
and I'm playing an OpenGL. I kind of want to see how that area looks in software later, but
Take this shortcut.
which shortcut?
Missed it. Yeah.
it's on the minimap.
Oh, that it is. What? Really just...
Dude is green. Wee.
That seems pretty strong.
That's not
Yeah,
bad.
actually... Yeah, that's a good point. Why are there shadows here? It's a Persona enemy. Is
mansion.
this a Persona course?
It's a mansion. It's full of scary monsters.
Then,
believe
like,
it.
give me the fucking Mystic Mansion shit. Why a shadow?
Look at that.
You can probably
Look
rainbow
at that turn. That's awesome.
That's a pretty cool route, actually. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like a lot of detailing in some of these courses is basically like, what will Zone Builder allow me to place?
Whee.
I also think the hazards down here are probably a little dangerous, but they're kept mostly off the main paths, so it's not too bad.
I couldn't see the spikes through the item boxes for the first time.
Yeah, I think the most egregious thing, besides massive boost pad overuse, probably the what am I talking about? The use of cycle hazards in places where they have no business being.
There looks to be a cut on the very last turn of Wishtree Mansion. You want to take a look at that? Some of them when you have to
Sure.
roll.
Oh, this track.
Keeg barred up in chat, so I need to also point it out.
Wait a minute.
Where is the cut, though? 'Cause I
It looks like
didn't
it's on
see
the
it.
very last turn before
Please
the
tell me you
lap
put it.
count.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Is this traversable?
Doesn't seem like it.
It felt like I was going
Can you
backwards
get
for a
anywhere
second.
from here? Nah, it's not an actual water skip, it's a death plane. But maybe if you...
Wow!
Wait, is the block breakable from the other side?
What the fuck?
Probably.
I wonder if you hit checkpoints like that. I'm actually seriously curious if that's like... that actually allows you to finish.
Try to do
Where
it
is
without any
the
items.
actual fucking finish line here? Yeah, you don't cross the finish lines. There's no point in doing that, which makes me wonder why it's traversable. Seems like the entire area should probably be death plane in that case.
Alright, just do it then.
Can you go the other way, though? Yeah, can you take that section in reverse? Because where did I actually exit? That's... So we go all the fucking way around.
Okay.
Then... Is this the same?
It'd be possible to take it slowly enough, but I wouldn't think of it as a very race-specific thing.
Yeah,
Maybe
this
for-
doesn't, Yeah, Free Play Explorers, indeed.
Oh, there's a path down here too.
Yeah, so probably not an actual issue. It's funny to me that, like, there's definitely a habit of, like, areas that would be kinder if they just killed you instead being fully traversable. So my understanding is that this is a port of something?
Either that or it's a reference.
I'd love it.
Super
Yeah,
IndyCar,
it's a
people are
port
saying.
of Super IndyCar, I believe.
Oh yeah,
I
Super
think
Nintendo.
that's- Yeah. I haven't played it, so I don't know how similar or different.
Did I actually forget the reason I was there? God damn it.
Yep.
Awesome.
Which in turn is actually a reference to fucking. Why can I remember? Why can I not remember the name? Fuck.
Wow, look at how useful these rocket boosters are.
Right?
Freedom Planet. There we go.
Ah! Damn it. So I guess the
Wow,
idea
you
there
messed
is to
up.
enable the rainbow. It's not a super interesting sequence, though. Alright, so where is... Said it was on the
That's-
very last turn?
Yeah.
Oh, you can see it on the mini-map.
Oh, that you can. That's what you're referring to. Breakable wall, I guess?
Ooh.
That's actually kind of interesting.
It's very, I don't know.
Having a weird
Seems like a pretty marginal time save to use a shoe there, but...
Little sleeping egg zone.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna break it.
Let me actually hit the combo just once.
It is a cut near the end, so I do kind of appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's not
no,
that-
it absolutely shouldn't be strong. Yeah! Alright, that's... The turn isn't that interesting, but rainbows are fun. So it's impossible to say whether it's good or not.
Understandable.
Alright, Super
It's a pretty
IndyCar
word
Dragon
opener.
Valley.
Are you ready for Blue Springs?
I should probably, instead of making people watch this entire fucking rambling piece of shit, try to summarize at the end and just, like, link that to mappers instead of the entire disaster. Like, let me be respectful of people's time. So this isn't okay. This probably needs a one-way wall. Because the first time I did this, I definitely fucking drove in here and was wondering what the hell was going on. There's not really any reason for that to be visible to you after the first lap. I did the music. The layout is interesting.
I mean, it's
Once again, feels like it uses boost pads a lot. We also ran into some collision issues on the cross here, where players can absolutely hit each other, and it's race ruiner territory if you get punted back to where you came from, or like onto a different axis.
I think that may have been the point from like the original game.
That's totally valid, but it's shit.
I mean, I'm not gonna argue.
Like, I just need... If that's intentional, and I find it hard to believe that you could design that section and then play it with actual people and not run into the problem. If that's intentional, then it's whatever. But I feel like it must be known that it is really bad. Fucking Hot Wheels looking ass.
I did not
These
make
trees
this jump.
collide, but the trees and fucking Whispering Whatever don't.
This is weird.
Spectrum on that.
Yeah, it's...
Also,
is this
these
another,
jumps-
like, chain boost pads for nearly the entire course map?
Chain boost.
There's a
pads.
lot of them.
there's a lot of them. Also, these boost pad, this jump, I randomly did not make this jump as Knuckles.
It's Blue Springs. I wonder if it is traversable on Easy Speed Shrink, come to think of it. Actually, I wonder if it's traversable on Shrink at all.
I'm gonna say probably not.
We're small now.
Yeah, I think the design of this course makes a lot of items potentially less than useful. Most notably sneakers, of course.
Poor sneakers.
Alright, so if you hit the booster there, you'll traverse. And if you don't... Okay, yeah, you're still safe. This is on hard speed, though, so... I feel the need to be unnecessarily pedantic about this. Yeah, I get that this probably exists in different territory because it's a port. I don't think the
my
trees having
goodness.
collision is necessarily an issue, but it did strike me as kind of surprising.
As long as you don't get stuck in the corner.
Oh yeah. Without the pad, there's no way. With the pad... Just barely. Alright, I'm actually okay with Easy Speed missing the jump if they don't take the pad. Although... it does mean that a lot of bump situations probably really... Well, wait, you're shrunk. You can't get bumped, you'll just die. And then you'll slowly limp across and eat shit. I think the actual issue is maybe these pads should extend to the edge so you don't have to back up into them. That's like super nitpick territory, though. Let's see. Can't type today. Am I still?
You're still tiny, I think.
I think I'm good now. So I think this is like conceptually the most interesting. Like I was saying,
What the
this is
fuck?
conceptually
That's a little
the
hard.
most interesting course in the pack, IMO.
Where do I go?
But
That sight red.
there is
like,
actually
that's-
no help with regards to where the fuck you're going.
yeah,
If you're
it's
gonna
like-
go by the mid textures and the boost pads, those need to be bright red fucking lasers. Those need to be like Assassin's Creed waypoints.
Yeah, because that literally just looked like
Ideally,
water.
you just have literally anything suggesting the actual path, since the off-road and the fucking road are the same color, basically.
Interesting trade-off.
Seaside, this is a backport of one of Jack's V2 models. I'm running these for testing purposes, but they're not public at the moment. So let me actually pay attention to this situation. So once you actually know where you're going, the mixture of different kinds of friction is, like, kind of interesting. I know everybody loves to bag on ice levels and see, like, oh, ice physics are terrible, you should never use them. But I dig this conceptually, and if there was maybe something a little bit more interesting going on in some of the indoor turns, this section seems weird to navigate, but...
Yeah, walls are same texture as, you know...
Yeah. It seems like it's a lot of the same visual clarity issue where you need to make sure that there's a... I think, as a rule, to make sure that somebody can read something on instinct, you want to make sure that walls and floor not only have a color difference, but also have, like, a saturation or value difference.
Well, color difference for, like, tracks like these would be kind of hard, except unless you, like...
Yeah, but that's why mapping ain't easy.
That turn is so weird.
Yeah, it's... Let me actually try the low path here. Underwater, alright, I dig it.
Does that ice not have a
Uh-oh.
boost pad texture?
It's a blind right angle turn after an upward slope.
And it also has a boost pad.
This one's not marked, so I think
It's kind of fast.
Let me actually... Because this, to me, is like a significant step up in quality despite some of the signposting issues on the opening section.
And what about ice and non-ice physics floors combined? If you look at some of the vanilla maps, they use ice in a way that the inside of the turn is ice, but the outside of the turn is floor. So that way, if you charge up a red into the ice, you can slide with the ice, pop your red on the traction floor, and get a little more control that way. That's a good example.
Okay,
of
I don't know why you can water skip into death planes there. That's like one of my big pet peeves, regardless of context, is when you're already dead and the game just takes a while to let you die.
No.
This little ice patch is like insta wall if you hit it. Here's a wall, I guess.
This turn isn't very interesting, and adding mobs that don't feel thematically appropriate to the area doesn't really fix it, IMO. Also,
You can also sometimes
I'm
slow
gonna
punch.
assume this is Interp making them look incredibly fucking stupid.
It did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the jitteriness.
Wait, don't
Oh
spin me
god!
around.
Get off me!
Yeah, that's gonna be Interp and 3D models making them look incredibly dumb. But yeah, this is like, the way the turn drops off on the right edge here is super non-obvious. Actually, the way it drops off on both edges is kind of non-obvious.
Again, I just think like the dark blue should just be replaced with like either raised ground or just something that's like not the same color as the fucking
Yeah,
sea.
I don't think it would be a crime to railing this, honestly. This is also... That set is outrageous bait.
Ice hard.
That's like, if I didn't already have a fucking shoe approaching that, I wouldn't even go for it.
Yeah. Ice on the outside of turns is just big scare.
Yeah, because,
I
like...
think he expects you to hit the boost pad.
Yeah, but that's like very specific. And there's
But
only
the pad is
one.
in front of the set, and I want the set.
Happy set.
Happy
Yeah,
set!
look at-
Really awkwardly.
I need to make Happy set a fucking Hellhorn. Actually, I think I might have already done that.
Yeah, you did.
Isn't that a horn?
Literally.
Yeah, I think I already did that.
You might be able to hit both with egregious brake drifting into it, but
Whoa. Whoa. That didn't look like a ramp when I was approaching it.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that is a ramp. That happened to me
Yeah,
too.
it's not
All that-
obvious. Maybe it's more obvious in software because the perspective is wrong, but in OGL it's super not obvious it's a ramp until you're already hitting it.
I would not think it's obvious in software because it's basically just flat ice.
I also
I
think the
did-
blind pit here might be a little bit unfair for people who are trying to corner shave. It's unlikely you're going into this trying to get a super tight line, but this
question
seems a
is-
little bit mean-spirited.
My question is, do you water skip if you boost like accidentally on the top and then go to the bottom?
I just did something that kind of drew my attention to something. If you're gonna put boost pads fucking everywhere, put boost pads up here. It'd be cool.
yeah, put a little exploration on the map. I like that.
Because right now, a lot of the use of boost pads in this pack is here is the prescribed path you are supposed to be taking. If you don't take this path, you are 10 seconds slower than the front runner.
That's how I feel about a lot of maps.
Oh, this is also a ramp.
As someone who's coming back, like, not playing.
Yeah,
because
because you've been playing in fucking private games with like good players. You need to like go play on KTM or something. Get some confidence back.
No.
KTM, please.
But yeah,
Nah, I'm just.
I think same general criticisms as usual here is upward slope turns, kind of minimal detailing, weird lack of contrast between floor and walls at times. That's like, conceptually it's interesting. I'd like to see the. It's interesting to play around with the way the friction changes and like when you should be applying boosts or mini turbos, but I'd like to see something a little bit more involved done with those sections to give you a reason to move around more than path for the pad. That's like super general, but it's because there's a lot of different directions you could go with it, I think. And Chimera Tower. I remember one issue that I had with this right at the start.
Is it the spike balls?
It's the flamethrower turn, actually.
Oh yeah, the flamethrower turn.
The flamethrower turn is hilarious.
Clothesline.
This is like an ultra fucking nitpick again, but like sets lined up at the exact width of a turn so that it's not obvious how much more space you have after the set.
I would probably slam right into the right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The that spike ball.
That makes
Okay,
it a little
so
hard.
the second one is what's really confusing me because it's not doing anything while it's there. But the first spike ball, this is super egregious as far as cycle hazards go because the majority of the time no player will even have to deal with it at all, and then it just comes. Whoosh. Also, somebody in chat is saying that the first window before the big turn looks like a path. Let me actually compare there because, yeah, actually staring through this with like no obvious difference between fucking, yeah, it totally looks like when you're starting out that the course is trying to direct you through the window, since it's the only object of interest in that entire area.
Very straight.
I know that that's gonna look like I'm mad about this because I got hit by it, and I won't entirely try to disclaim that, but the flamethrowers and the spike ball, really?
Expert course.
That is a cycle disaster. That is a mess, and you could credibly refer to it as completely unavoidable in the wrong context.
Nah, dude, you just have to
It's
figure
definitely
out.
not reactable. You're not doing anything interesting with that hazard other than braking. Non-obvious which direction this turn is until you approach it and actually see the path, because the wall looks like fucking nothing burger as you're coming in. Which direction? Oh, that direction. So some sort of signaling. More cycle flamethrowers. This really seems like it just serves to make the course harder for certain players for no reason. And then this, especially if you take like the low path here. This is what I noticed right away.
The low path is way better.
The low path is super dangerous.
It's dangerous, but it's also better.
And then you come up this way. Upward slope into blind 180-degree right-angle turn with a fall-off and flamethrowers on the inside.
On the inside. But it's
There is
also fast.
absolutely no way someone is going to get that right the first or the third time. That's crazy. Really, though, it's like a lot of this really does come down to just the same issue. This is like the same issue in reverse, where it's like downward slope into right-angle death turn. Just the overriding rule of I need to be able to see where I'm going. You putting up a sign that gives me a vague description. Also, this doesn't look like an alt path from the top. You putting up a sign that gives me a vague description of the general idea of the next turn is not a substitute for me actually being able to see the path and plan around it. If I can't see the path, also the fact that you can spin out and fall off there is pretty hilarious.
Whoa.
If I can't see the path, then either you need to give me the opportunity to see it before I make any choices, or there's something wrong with the way the fucking turn is being led into. Also, seriously, the cycle flamethrowers aren't that fun.
The cycle flamethrowers dictate on whether you're turning inside or outside.
Yeah, and most of the time it's a decision that's being made without information. Actually, I don't know if this qualifies as an actual fucking critique, but why is this prop in every map?
I don't know.
Inspired by the top of Pile Splendor.
Oh, nice.
Also, the entrance is kind of awkward in the bottom path.
How long did it take you
Yeah,
to fall?
it doesn't look like
I
a
wanna check
fucking
that.
path when you're entering it, and then when you're actually entering it, it's not clear how to line up. It feels like it's supposed to be a punishment path, but Trail is saying it's actually faster.
It's not actually that punishing. I mean, it's kind of bad.
Well, let me
but
time
it's
it really
actually kind of
quickly,
faster.
because this mod, if you rewind, you'll get a ghost.
Because the top path, usually when you get to the red springs, you're probably not going at it at full
This
speed.
is a nothing
so you'll
straight away,
go,
by the way. Nothing
So you'll
happens
go
there
at,
for like
like-
10 seconds.
so you go like at basic speed, which is like 40 fractal units, and then you'll hit the slope and lose some speed. But then you go bottom path, you hit those boosters, you're pretty fast.
The Nothing Burger straightaway does come up right as an item pops into your box, so maybe there's some interesting item interaction happening there, but
Oh, there it is.
it's very wide.
The floors that crumble should be textured.
Yeah,
Alright,
like,
so
they
that's a
should be
decent run of the
a little
bottom
bit wider.
path, and then let's compare the ghost to if I take the top path. It's actually a really valuable tool.
This is the first time I've seen this tool in action.
Oh, shit. Alright, well, the other nice thing is that I can undo my mistakes, like, why is that fucking wall even there? Huh. Yeah, would you look at that? My lower
Yeah,
path
you
ghost
take
comes
it.
up first, so at the very least they're
And-
quite close.
Yeah, hitting
But
that
it feels like
little
it's supposed to be a
edge-
punishment path because the entry is invisible.
It's because of the red springs, actually. The turn is so strict that you're not going at it at full speed, so you can't make the most out of it unless you use a shoe.
So entering the section, this doesn't look like a pit until you're falling into it, you know?
That's because, okay, hold on. As Trail's been saying before, like, these paths only open up once you actually drive over them.
Ah,
so
okay.
there should, yeah, so there should be like a different texture or a different colored texture to like emphasize the fact that like, hey, you're driving over this, it's gonna fall. So
This isn't nothing
Careful.
straight away, by the way.
yeah,
That's like,
Nothing.
let's time this. I exit the hell turn. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. Now I start a drift input. 5 full seconds with a shoe of no decisions.
Maybe heavies can like do a little blue over there, but that's about it.
Is this? Well, that just feels kind of mean-spirited.
Yeah,
wait, can you? Yeah,
you can't make it.
If this isn't traversable, because it physically looks like it is, wall it off. Because that's absolutely something that I would expect someone to try. And, like, a death plane is better than them being able to skip this entire section of the course. But better still
Yeah.
would be to make it clear that that's not an option.
That was the first thing I tried.
Because you're a dirty major skipper.
Oh,
If anything, I would make the cut not that strong, but like you can skip the hazards and jump onto the bridge or something like
Yeah.
that. You really want to cut there.
And I think, as far as this top path goes, these flame barriers suck. But I think the real problem is, like, why?
Double wall, yeah.
why?
Because especially if you're corner shading, look at the line you're naturally going to be taking here.
You think you can
You,
turn
you
in,
have
but
to know
uh-oh,
that's
this is the
there,
wall.
because otherwise you're going to be turning inward.
It's the same on the bottom path too.
Yeah.
This
I'm not
is
going to say
very, like-
90-degree turns are not okay ever, but like they need anticipation. You need to be able to see where you're going, and that means not stacking hazards or like unseeable track elements. behind them. So I guess I should summarize so that I don't massively disrespect people's time when I try to fucking go over these critiques. So I guess I'll do one run each.
Can these maps be
Double
sent
set
in
here
at
is
any
super
time?
awkward. You use like 2 items in a second. The left sign here is super misleading and leads you onto a shortcut path instead of the main path. This section feels like it has a whole lot going on and is going to get way worse in a populated net game, including this pretty rough puddle in a dark area behind an item set. This is an upward sloped right angle turn. It's not readable even if you signpost it, and the area behind it really shouldn't be modeled at all because you never want to be there. Huh, that was an interesting way to snap that. Let's roll it all the way back.
Whoa!
Whoa! So, the only route visible to you while you're approaching this is the shortcut route. Even though you put up a sign here, nobody fucking knows where this route actually is until they realize that the route that they're being pointed to, that is the only one in their vision, is the shortcut route. Those yellow springs, if you take them with not enough speed, you can fail the jump, which feels pretty bad.
Where did you put a spike wall in the shortcut? I don't think that was there before.
This kind of feels like a nothing section. This doesn't look like a teleporter, and the transition is super weird, but the fact that it leads you into a turn that's already active is way weirder, because it feels like to do that optimally you should be drifting through that entire section, but you have no way of knowing what's upcoming.
I'm so pleased this color the mini-map.
Seriously, I don't understand why the badniks are here.
The badniks are weird.
I don't
Have
think
you
it's
played the
necessary to
old
gate
version?
this with a cycle hazard, especially considering getting hit by the hazard is, like, if you're gonna lawnmower it, you want to get hit by the hazard because you can slide through the cut. And it's
Yeah.
actually of a reasonable speed.
Have you played the old versions of this track?
Not really.
It's a bit of an the newer versions are a bit of an improvement. Like, for example, the dirt path used to have bomb barrels a lot.
I also do want to point out that it's impossible to see the speed cap spring until you like actually hit it.
Yeah.
And that. Like,
Yeah, you don't even see it, and then you hit it, it's like, oh, lost all my speed.
There's
Guess
a
the
boost
side
versus
wasn't
item
worth it.
trade-off
Not
at the
slow
end of
for
this.
some
Was there
reason.
another one that I forgot about? Yeah, it's in the main path here, I think. Boost versus item trade-offs generally only serve to benefit the frontrunner, and they're not very interesting choices. If you can roll a good item, you take the boost, otherwise you take the item.
Is that Sal on call? No, that's Runa.
That is Runa.
Hi.
They're related. No, I'm
Presenting
just kidding.
Sal 2.
Wait. I like this. I am happy with this.
Yeah, I think
Nice to see you too, Seaside.
I covered everything on that run.
That's Tuna. Be quiet, mate.
Alright, Sunset Reversa, it feels like it has a lot of wide, nothing particularly interesting turns where the only, like, thing that's going on is hit the boost pad. This is a common criticism across most of the pack, but for this course it's probably the most blatant. Blind turn coming up here. The mid-texture here isn't super obvious, and the intuitive restore into it is bad. This ramp should cover the entire section, because that can happen to way too many people. You don't have the required time to react to that ramp, and for a lot of characters, the route that they want to naturally take after hitting that pad will lead them too wide. Water skip possible on that cut. Not sure whether it's an actual problem. This area is huge nothing. I don't see it being particularly interesting even with a bunch of players. Awkward item call situation. Draw distance is a problem on this map in general, but when it affects item sets, I'd say it's probably the most egregious because people might not have the time to dump their item and get a new one.
I haven't played Joker Cup since, like, the 1.0 versions.
Top path here has a couple rough to see 90-degree turns. Some kind of marker on the edges would be nice, because the walls are the same color as the floor. Right side here has virtually nothing going on, and I'm not sure why you would ever go over here.
Well, you did mention like to avoid the item bullshit.
Yeah, to avoid the doubtless 500 trap items placed on the left side because it has a set available. I kind of dig that pad, actually. Feels pretty neat and risky. This section's light on detailing, decision-making, and it's a blind turn. That didn't happen during testing, but it probably shouldn't be able to happen. I don't know how I feel about that one. Actually, I don't think I took the long route on the previous laps, so take the long route here. It's just slower and has a turn. Wow, there's actually culling on the fucking mid-textures on the pads, I think? Which I didn't even think was possible. Yeah, long nothing straight away here. Just long periods of time without a lot of decision-making and some rough-to-see turns. As well as the gigantic empty void section. I don't think I've seen anything like it, and I think if there were things to do in there, I'd be totally fine with it. But it does freak the engine out pretty badly, so you might have to break it up, because the item culling is super distracting and kind of frustrating.
Ooh.
So, lots and lots of pads on this course. This turn is kind of blind adjacent, because the wall is the same color as the floor here. So while you're approaching, you know there's a turn, but it's not obvious which direction it is until you get a little bit of sight. And then it's not obvious that it continues either. This is an upward slope to 90-degree turn. If I can't see the path, I don't know where it is. Lots of those rotating spike balls basically everywhere. They rarely feel appropriate except in, what is the fucking spooky map? You know the one.
Whispering Maynard.
There it felt appropriate, but then that also had some egregious cycle hazard issues, so... Dunno. I kind of dig this section, although it feels like the pads, the white mid-texture on white floor makes them a little bit difficult to see, plus you're already using an alternate visual for them, the rainbow. This particular turn doesn't feel like you have enough time to anticipate the fall-off at all. Especially considering you only, like... Most people are going to drift store that instinctually. Another white mid-texture, white floor kind of issue. I think that's marginally cute. This cut is super fucking strong. With only one item set and not a lot of decision-making before the end of the course, I'd be kind of wary of that. It's the sort of thing that I'd like to test in net games. Easy money! Thanks, Jen. That's literally just a section of Toxic Palace copy-pasted there and doesn't really feel appropriate. My fault for drift storing these when there's pads at the bottom, by the way.
I mean, it's instinct, you know? Like, you get used to drift storing so much, it's just like, I gotta do it. I gotta do it every single time.
I must squeeze out every
Where's chromation?
Hey.
Chrome?
You must learn to work without the muscle memory.
Yo, if you want to learn how to work without the muscle memory, you go to fucking Encore and then die.
Yeah.
I wonder if these courses do have Encore palettes, actually.
I fucking...
Oh yeah, before I forget, Runa brought this up.
I cannot remember them.
Yeah, you can literally, like, skip part of the map.
This is critical exploit territory. You can finish from this position, and it saves a massive amount of time.
Wait, Tyrone, can you actually back up and see if you can, like, once you land on the white on the end of that jump, if you can actually just drive off and do that?
If we go there.
Like, I'm curious if you even care to, like, put the death plane near where it'd be obvious you can just drive off.
I'm not actually sure where you're referring to, my MS.
On the section where you could just brake.
Oh, so you actually take this section and then just turn around?
Yeah, yeah.
It might be difficult to hit it precisely.
You'd probably need a slow speed character for that.
Yeah.
Or-
probably.
Well, I was
break
able
it
to
the
make
right
contact with that floor, so
Yeah.
yeah. If I'm
I
able
was
to
just
make
curious.
contact with these, and there's nothing. You can probably drive off.
Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. But yeah, I definitely put it like a death plane, like above that roof.
White mid textures on white floor are pretty bad here. This is an awful lot of boosters for basically no reason. Like, you're basically, if you're taking the correct route here, you're at booster speed all the time, which might seem cool, but renders shoes effectively useless.
I think the idea was to like make sure that the shortcut wasn't as powerful by allowing like the main path to have like boosters.
Yeah, but that just pretty much obsolete sneakers, except for that shortcut.
Yeah.
Has the time for sending in maps passed?
No, we just started.
Ah,
Yeah. And
where do I send those?
Tyrone's just literally picking whatever, if I remember correctly.
Give me your map packs.
Pretty much. I
I
think
will drive
Ionic
on them.
wanted me to go through some in-dev stuff. There are so many fucking pads here. I think the Rainbow Drift Store potential is cool here, but like, why would you ever want to boost item in that section? This is critically bad. That hall is way too narrow, and the fact that there's a cycle hazard in front of it that's completely unavoidable makes it way worse.
Yeah.
Downward slope turn into double spike ball that's the same color as the walls and floor. Nope.
That was a pretty good
I think
turn.
this cut is cute. And I also think the wall break cut right here is kind of neat, even though visibility is sort of bad as you're breaking the wall.
That wall break is cool, but it'll also slow down first place.
Yeah, I'm honestly considering how much help they get in the form of speed pads fucking everywhere. Honestly, first could use a little slowing down. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
why are the thwomps here? Wrong game.
Better question, why are there shadows?
We have thwomps and shadows in the same map here, and this is neither a Mario nor a Persona map. It feels like they're hazards thrown in just to have hazards, like whatever these are, and they have collision. Nice.
Oh, the regal
Destiny.
statues.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, the portraits are top notch.
The Hella Jeff portraits, I'd actually like 20 more of those on the walls, and I'm being 100% serious.
Make the entire walls.
No, not the entire walls, just make like a row.
I feel like I played an earlier version and I remember disliking the hazards down here a lot. I think it was changed in some way because I don't really have an issue with them now. Although it seems like it could get pretty chaotic in net games. It definitely seems like it's a there is one path kind of situation. This turn isn't telegraphed fantastically because it's right angle. And there's no leading line, there's no like center line on the course or anything. I guess that should probably speak for itself.
Uh-oh.
I would put an invisible wall there.
Yeah, there's no reason for that to collide in that way.
Temporary baby jail.
Temporary baby jail.
And yeah, Runa pointed out that there's, if you drift store in a particular way in this section, you can miss a lap count. I'm not sure what causes that, but maybe double check the checkpoints there.
Also,
Well, it's
I
not
don't
even
know-
like checkpoints. There's just no like you can literally just
Oh, you can just
the
not
finish
finish?
line doesn't extend across the.
It's because it goes into the ramp
Alright, so
jump.
if you're on lap 3 and you like fucking fall into the water, but have passed the location where the finish line ought to be, you won't finish. So, my understanding is that this is a port that plays it pretty straight. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Wait,
Huh.
was that... That seems pretty rough. I don't know if that's necessarily a problem, though. The fact that the starting grid is accessible here makes no sense. One way wall that off with some kind of don't go here texture to make it obvious where the actual way to continue is. Yet another boosters literally fucking everywhere layout. especially in record attack, you pretty much spend the entire zone at booster speed.
Don't forget the Hot Wheels collision thing.
Oh yeah. I get the feeling it's intentional, but on this jump you can totally bump other players. And because it's basically uncontrollable when it happens, like you don't have any air action or air control available to you because these are blue springs. When that happens, it doesn't feel funny, it mostly feels frustrating. I think this is a solid layout that could maybe have the dash panels toned down just a little bit. So I imagine it creates comeback issues, but again, that's the sort of thing that I'd like to test in a larger game.
And again, you gotta keep in mind, I think he's trying to be faithful to the original, so...
Yeah, ports are definitely weird territory. Overall, not a lot to complain about there, though. Layout's solid. I think Arctic Lagoon is the map in this pack that IMO shows the most promise. It is super rough around the edges in places, though. It's incredibly... Actually, hold on.
I'm holding on.
So if I pause right here, it should be relatively obvious. Where is the fucking turn?
Nowhere.
Yeah. Better yet, where's
And
the
yet,
road?
the path falls off right there very quickly. And the only cue you get for this is blue on slightly darker blue. And the other side has the same problem as well. This pad is super dangerous but pretty cute. The item set behind it feels like maximum bait. These don't look like ramps when you approach them from the top, which can be a little bit surprising. Lower path here. I think the boost pad on the inside is kind of unnecessary, and it leads into an upward sloped 90-degree blind turn. Seriously, just remove all of these from all of your maps, and then never make one again. Because I don't think there's actually ever a justifiable reason to do it.
Gotta never make a map again, or never make an upward ramp on a map.
That's never make a fucking blind upward slope 90-degree turn again.
I had to confirm that.
Please
'cause that's
continue
not
making
really
maps. Everyone... Like, God bless all mappers, regardless of how fucking inexperienced. Because...
I keep making maps, but, like, learn from, like, small mistakes
community
like
content
that.
is what keeps this shit alive, and so I'm never going to be too harsh on anyone who's, like, trying to make something to, keep the game running, you know? Also, white on white here, with the mid-texture on the floor.
It's time for Mickey Speedway ports.
You joke, but I unironically want those.
I mean, Griff is literally making...
Proud to announce Garfield Kart 2.
Yes! That was...
Stop. I don't... If Garfield Kart in any way comes to the cart, I am fucking done.
I think in general, my take on this course is that I like the mixed friction, I like the fucking water versus ice sections. I wish there was something a little bit more interesting to do than just path the pad. Something that felt a little bit more natural and required you to, like, actually corner in interesting ways, instead of, oh yeah, also why are these here? Are these thematically appropriate? But yeah, something that required you to corner in interesting ways and was a little bit more emergent than just look for the bright mid-texture.
I was making Colorado, but I just stopped working on it.
And then Chimera Tower. I think aesthetically, this course is the strongest. Please ignore this take completely if you feel like it. I don't want to hear fucking Chaos Angel in any kart courses.
No.
That's just me. It's so cliche. This looks like it should be traversable. I agree that it shouldn't be. It's good that this is death planned. But, I think you should probably wall that off so that it doesn't look possible, so that nobody attempts it. Because it's frustrating to feel punished for, like, noticing something about a map and then getting killed. This is a pretty blind corner. Because there's no arrows or anything. Wall same color as floor. And because it's basically 90 degrees, you don't get a chance to see any leading on the floor anyway. Oh yeah, this is where the fucking alternate paths, yeah.
Yeah, those should be cool.
I actually didn't notice this mechanic the first time around because there's no different textures on these areas. There probably should be.
You don't notice it until the next lap or until someone falls in it.
Yeah. Like, again, those could be change the like maybe a lighter.
This
gray,
here
just
seems
to
kind of
emphasize-
unnecessary. I've hit it a couple times when trying to go for max corner shapes.
I think the red spring should be
The
pushed back a
flamethrowers
little
on the
bit.
inside of this turn feel kind of unfair. Because you can't
Yeah.
really... If they're not on at the time where you're making the turn, you can't see them. Even if they are, it requires a lot of attention. The spike ball hazard there isn't really all that relevant, but it seems like a strange inclusion. The bigger issue is this spot right here with the dual flamethrowers plus the pendulum spikes. Because on the wrong cycle, that's completely unavoidable, and the only thing you can do is break, which is not very interesting. See, there we go. I fucking turned the wrong way for this turn, despite explaining how I can't read it before.
It feels so natural to just keep turning right.
Yeah. This is a super awkward section. I don't know what the flail's doing here. And then it leads up into a blind 90 degree or 180 degree right angle turn. And if you don't react immediately to it, like, you can't even see the sign until you come up and see the floor, so the sign is completely worthless. And then, of course, you can fall off.
Maple says, how do you feel about looking at Plompek?
After, I don't know how much I want to tackle tonight, but after Tyonic sends me that in-depth dimension break shit. By the way, DM me whatever you want me to take me a look at. Whatever you want me to take a look at, Tyonic.
I want to do it too, but I'll just watch. If it's only you.
It's been DM'd, thank you. So yeah, I think this course probably has the strongest aesthetic. Again, a lot of tall walls with not a lot of detailing or texture variants. Very, very Zdoom feel. This turn sucks. That's the harshest criticism I'll give you. This turn is garbage.
No.
Actually, just design something completely different and put it there. I don't think there's any part of that that I like or that is worth saving. But with that exception, I think the course that I enjoyed most out of this pack is probably Sweet Mountain with Chimera Tower as a close second. And the track I think that has the most potential if you improve it, definitely Arctic Lagoon with Joker City. Joker City is definitely your most visually impressive thing, even if it feels a little bit disjointed at times. And I think if you fix the conveyance issues, where the track is literally trying to lead you onto off-road shortcut paths instead of the main path, then that immediately makes it significantly better. A lot of these are easy fixes and come down to, can I see where I'm going? Also, be aware of boost pad overuse, why does every level have a flail, and contrast between floor and walls, basically.
Isn't there a hell map in that pack? Let me see.
Nope. No, there isn't. Nope, 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 nope.
Hell maps are the last remaining outlet of creativity this world has.
Oh, okay. So you weren't saying that as like, oh, there actually isn't any, but it's like, if there is any, I don't care.
Dang.
Hell maps are allowed to be bad, and I will not. I will not sully them with criticism.
I mean, you could still give them like a
They're in hell because they're bad.
What?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that. I mean,
Name
like,
a course that's fun in base game map hell.
Battle Bowl.
Wrong.
3-color drive.
Wrong.
No, what?
What?
I don't believe you.
3-color drive would be fun if it was finished.
Okay, you know what? Fair.
It's a non-finished map bad.
Black Bliss
Tough.
Rev is almost there. I think Arid Sands is the closest thing. And the entire back half of that course still makes no sense.
Fuck Crystal Abyss, though.
Crystal Abyss is cool. I just, like, it's definitely a solo course. I don't think it makes any sense at all to play it in net games.
That, and also, it's like an OpenGL killer if you're on the original OpenGL, which
Yeah, it's fixed in every community build, and it's fixed in Master, though, so I don't really count that against it.
Yeah.
Alright,
Okay, I'm
so
gonna
what next?
bomb
Let's go find Tyonic's shit, which should be DM'd to
You do
me.
Tyonic, I'll do Plum Pack in the meantime, and then you can
It
give
looks
your
like Shinji
criticism.
also DM'd me something. This looks like an in-dev WAD, so I'll take a look at that.
It is, but it's like mostly complete.
Okay.
I'm gonna play it too.
Large file
You're allowed
sizes
to.
because I forgot to add in the loop point to the song. Nice! Yeah!
That's it, I'm beating you up.
Alright, so let me grab this and drop it into download here. So this will be a showcase from Tionic, if my game doesn't crash immediately. Alright. Map X8, huh?
X8, that sounds pretty good.
DMs is easier for me because sorting through pings is a pain in the ass. Holy fucking textures! Wow, this is visually busy.
That's a lot.
Well.
Yeah,
I mean,
the music def explains how I feel right now, actually.
Jeez!
Put it in hell.
This doesn't read as a turn at all. Am I alone?
I can't see anything.
Also,
Wait, go left,
everything's
go right,
white.
go right.
Everything-
Go
Yeah.
right, huh? Why go right?
I
Go
think
left
the
because
issue
the
is
path on the
primarily
right.
white on white.
Wait a minute, this is a multi-section track.
Yeah, this is 2-section
Ooh.
track.
Okay, so I think this is mirrored? Ooh.
We've just started
This
and
is
we've already...
This is visually interesting for sure.
This is
I'm
amazing,
not sure
but
whether
I
this is
can't see
intended
where
to be
I'm going.
traversable or not. It looks super traversable, but then there's a fence and a kill plane, so...
Wait, the fence doesn't even work though. It's just
Yeah, I don't know. So this is the actual
Maybe.
main path in this direction. This is the real reason that I'm testing, is so like people can see someone with terrible fucking conveyance issues playing their map for the first time. Okay, maybe one-way wall this, because it wasn't obvious to me that it was the end of the mirror section yet.
Yeah.
This place reminds me of Metal City.
I would have actually gone
Ooh.
to, like, I would have fallen for this. Whoa,
This is a
Whoa.
cool aesthetic switch up.
Yeah, I dig that.
that's really cool.
Like we exited the digital world.
Nice
now
hall
we're
of
in the
mirror
digital
spring panels, by the way.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
is-
Alright,
this is Oh.
world. A virtual highway style underwater.
Is that boost pad entirely?
This
there
is a
was...
spectacle.
I
for-
think it was, like, kind of striped throughout.
This is a spectacle for the eyes, but it's also like. What the fuck?
It's really, I
It's
bet
bright.
the encoding right now is awesome. I think the flashing red mid texture for off-road here is probably one of the clearest indicators of danger I've seen in a custom course. So that's cool. And then immediately we have the Hall of Mirror spring panels. I'm not even sure is this traversable? I'm not sure why. Hold on, let me
Whoa.
figure that out.
They said there were no depth FOFs. Yeah.
Oh, so it's all.
Okay.
Is that
That's
a route?
cool.
That looks like a route to me, though. That looks like a route.
That looks so
That
cool.
seems
Let's make it a
clumsy as
feature.
hell right now, but also conceptually really cool.
Tonic says, yeah, it was meant for something later.
Okay.
It's a feature.
I really like freeform tracks like that where you have just a bunch of terrain. It's like,
Yeah,
really
that's
nice.
like if the big fucking pit of despair and nothingness in the one fucking Joker map, the one with the item culling issues, if it had features like that, I would have been totally on board. I did it. I did the thing, didn't I? Wait, did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
Did the
loop
thing.
around the mirror section.
Yeah,
You have
it's-
been bamboozled.
So this queue is confusing. I know that this is here on purpose to direct people to this path, but when I'm approaching this looks like there is a turn around here. That's what I read that for the presence of that sign as. It
What I was
just adds confusion when you're already moving at speed and you need to make that exit. Confusion is what causes people to take the loop and then get fucking... I don't know what the deal
But I
is
was
with the floating springs. This is...
You might be able to hit the floating springs with a
yeah.
go like shoe spring.
Tonic, what I would
Yeah, I think a
suggest
super
for, like,
obvious leading line for the exit of the mirror section is probably in order. I don't know how you're supposed to
Like,
fucking reach that.
Like, I think with the mirror section, I think what I would suggest is, like, have, like, a one-way texture so that way, like, when you're off your path, like, you see that there's a wall there, and it's like, okay, so I have to go the opposite way.
Nitpick on that section, by the way, is that it's not obvious you're getting sneaker boosts because there's no floor detailing. So some kind of pattern that suggests speed, or I'll absolutely be the guy mashing the rocket sneaker,
so-
thinking that it's the rocket sneaker that's giving me speed.
Nah.
That's a huge
Is there
nitpick, though.
sneaker sound effect, like a boost pad effect? 'Cause I
Yeah,
haven't
but if you're
seen either,
already
like,
boosting,
Oh, I see. Yeah.
then it'll be easy to get it confused, especially if there are other players in the area, because then it's just going to be a whole bunch of stack boost sound effects.
Yeah, Nin has a point. It's a very strong section for Grow. It's pretty straightforward.
That's because the boost section has pulsating light and software, barely rendered in GL. Well, there you go. You're welcome for the shitty renderer beta test.
What the
I
frick,
think
Shangy?
conceptually, this
Don't worry
is
about
super
it.
cool. I don't.
Shang! Go to bed.
Don't worry about it.
I
Don't worry
did
about it.
completely misread that, didn't I? Yeah, because it's not obvious where the floor is because the ramp is kind of hiding it here, or not the ramp, but this little bump. And then the
Is that
floor
bump
changes.
launching
The
the
floor
wall?
changes color in such a way that, like, if you're approaching this dead on, it's not actually obvious where the path is. Like, you have the little bit of a lead there with the sloped right wall, but overall, it's like it's tough to see. Maybe, like, open up this wall a little bit so you can have sight on the actual path. Also, the bump is literally just asking for Runa to trap that spot the same way that she does literally every single fucking lap on Bananas and... which is infuriating.
It's called out like that, holy shit.
Ground spawn there.
Fully.
I wonder if you try skipping that jump. like
That's
you do
another...
on,
This is
on the
upward
other
slope to
side.
90-degree angle. I don't know about it. I don't think the sign there is enough. I think you might need to open up this section just a bit.
I mean, it's not
Because
that
because
bad.
the floor is the floor doesn't immediately necessarily read as the following path there. Especially
but I
when there's a
think,
lot
like,
of wild detailing here anyway.
I think it's wide enough to, like, once you get there, you just see at the corner of your eye, like, where you need to go. It's like, oh, okay. So it's not terribly bad, but yeah.
Also, mid textures here, why?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess to emphasize the
Maybe it's
pattern
broken on
of them?
GL because it actually does look kind of broken.
I also feel like that should be pointing more towards where you're supposed to go rather than like, because it, like it does look kind of confusing like as of right now. But the full texture.
Overall, though, kind of excited to see this finished.
Yeah.
Looks pretty neat. I think
Again.
that covers everything that I noticed on the first couple of laps. Obviously, you know that some areas that look traversable are actually not, but... Somebody mentioned that
Visually,
one-way
though-
mid-textures are not their favorite solution to this kind of shit because they hide items. I think maybe you could just... So, is it time for the MS Paint diagram?
Oh,
Well,
I don't know what that refers to.
basically, fucking MS Paint shit. I don't.
Oh,
So, like, regarding fucking mirror sections, because I noticed it's something that people do pretty commonly in... I have to draw this with the monitor capture off, by the way, to make sure that I don't draw something that looks like a dick and then get banned.
No. Who's been drawing?
Yeah.
Who's been drawing dicks?
I think I agree with Fickle that the easy solution is just to drop off, and then, like, mark the drop off with big red fuck off, don't go here X's or something.
Go home.
The other way, if you're opposed to that for some reason, the other way is
One-way texture.
Oh no.
uh
Oh.
basically the TLDR. This is the super potato way of explaining it. Is that just changing the angle of approach going in? So like if this is your fucking looped section or whatever, then like if I'm coming in on this side, there's no fucking way I'm actually gonna flip a 180 into like a turn that I can't even see. This is good. It's not good. Yes, nice balls. Thank you. I told you this was gonna happen.
That's
But yeah,
it, you're
like,
banned.
it's-
Give me your money.
The way to do this without actually, like, having to worry about mitigating the problem at all is just to make sure that the fucking turn into the other side of the mirror section is not even, like, available to you. Like, you can't even see it.
I'm trying not to laugh at the comments. I'm sorry.
Balls.
There was no other way for me to explain that other than drawing balls. I'm sorry.
One guy mentioned it looked like a sperm cell.
Yeah, I know. I read my chat.
Okay. Okay, are you gonna do Chengi's level next?
Alright, yeah, let's see. Chenji's,
So sorry in advance for subjecting all of your viewers to
I'm angry.
subjecting all my viewers to what now?
idle hell.
You're about
Oh, good.
you're about to listen to. You're
I
about.
appreciate you.
You'll know
Alright.
it when you start hearing the music.
Alright, add file,
Team on
map
that.
GN. Wait, no, map
Chenji,
GN.
I'm scared. What did you do?
My brain.
Is it the fucking
765 Stadium Zone. Ooh.
Yeah, it's this.
You're about to hear the
It's a
music.
Chenji map. I
You're
wonder if
gonna
there will be a ridiculous amount of custom texturing. There
I
it is.
mean, I don't
There
mind
it
it.
is!
laugh. There it is. I hate it. I'm just kidding.
Interdasting. Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot going on that turn, or
Did I hear myself?
for that matter, this one? Should be routing out for the boost rings, though.
What? There's a path up there?
The custom textures look so good. Fuck.
Wait a
this
minute, I
is-
could
this
just charge
is
a rainbow there.
Fucking
Interesting.
gorgeous for sure. I must know. What's the deal with the cones? Ah!
Where are these cones?
You can't run them over like you can in other games. It was bad.
I hate.
I want that to be a thing, but I'm not sure how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
If you can't figure it out, then maybe change the visual, because knock over traffic cones is like the most universal impulse in racing games.
I mean, what's the physics for those dust balls in like Sand Valley?
Oh yeah, the fucking tumbleweeds.
That's just
just
that's just
reskin
retexture.
tumbleweeds.
Okay, yeah, no, that's a genius solution. Fuck it, I'll do that.
Well, there we go.
We've got a solution.
Will, welcome to the Mappers Club.
Woo! We are the boys and the girls.
This is actually not the worst arrange of this song, too.
Oh, Pickle also suggests the bowling pins.
Bowling pins as well could be good. Reskin the toads.
No!
All right. So there's one
This
thing
is-
I want to try. I'm actually gonna hold on. Let's see. Nice.
Well, that was an interesting
Sigbra?
interaction.
Wait.
Can't do that. This is a
There's one
console.
thing
You
I want
can't
to
bring
try because I
bomb.
know it'll be fucking awesome here.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What are you doing?
We big boys.
Yep.
Time to move at 10,000 speed.
Bruh! Bruh!
We're ready for the grow.
Are those lights real? Can you launch off them? I hope not.
So this might be the like strongest grow map I've ever seen because
This
absolutely
is the
nothing
best.
about the handling is in any way difficult anywhere. And there are constantly boosts placed.
This
Grow could
feels so
use some love, to be
good.
perfectly honest. This is pretty fun. Oh man, Rainbow with Grow. Here we go.
Here we go. Time to move infinite.
So I think I would be wary of playing this at normal speed because it feels like, I don't know, blue
It's a lot
MT,
of
blue
space.
MT, blue MT, blue MT, blue
Yeah.
MT, blue MT for every turn. I don't actually know what the alternative is though. It's very internally consistent, and I'm kind of satisfied with it for that reason. Maybe like an actual drop off there or something. Something like. So right now it's effectively just road. Maybe an actual drop, something to do with the airtime. I actually haven't taken this yet, so. Yeah, because there's that pit. There's a pit that's the same color as the fucking road, basically, but I think you have to screw up basically as hard as possible for it to become a problem.
I wonder if those lights on the ground are actual objects. You know,
They are, they're part of the map geometry, so they are, like, ramps you can launch off of. So that's what I'm trying to actually, like, mitigate.
Ah, so that is the thing there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a thing,
I
but it's not...
see. I was wondering
Wait.
because I feel like I'm a great asset to have testing a map because I'm actually fucking blind, so...
Wow.
But yeah, I think
too.
I actually
Jury's out.
don't. I'd like to redact that previous statement.
Right?
It's
But yeah,
alright.
it's like, I you know how everybody complains about the last turn of Umbrella Rush Winds?
Yeah.
This course, if it had been like just if any of these turns were like just a little bit sharper or a little bit wider,
Nice.
it would have been a course made entirely out of the last turn of Umbrella Rush Winds. Definitely like knife's edge balance sort of thing.
The next time you see those lights, can you like drive over them and see if they send
Which
you flying
lights?
or or something? Keep going straight. I know that I'm a little delayed because I'm watching the stream, but
Yeah, stream delay is a bitch.
near like the spiral curve that heads upwards, looks like there's
Spiral
some.
curve that heads upwards. Alright.
That's near the end of the track, so keep going.
Yeah, it's like the Daytona spiral.
Yeah.
Swoosh.
Keep on going.
It's not really a Daytona spiral. Daytona spiral is like a little
Keep
bit
on
more.
going.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Alright, so on the right, you'll see these little lights on the ground. Not, it's beyond the cut. So
Alright.
see the yellow lights. Can you make sure you can like drive over them and make sure? Oh, too far. Too
What
far, too
yellow
far.
light?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Okay, hold on. Go back down.
Oh,
We're talking about the
these.
tiny sloped lights.
Oh, yeah.
though.
Yeah,
Tiny-
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, those aren't fucking Blue Mountain space launchers, thank god.
No, the
Would be
rock.
neat.
So maybe I did fix that. Okay.
Nice.
I mean, I don't know, do you want me to fucking put on Grow and drive over them
You
16
might have to,
times?
because like the last time I touched this map was in 2019.
Wow, nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But would it even?
V2 came, or not V2, 2.2 came out, and I'm like, okay, all of my attention is devoted to this now.
Okay, but here's the question though. Why would that even matter? Because I don't think it saves that much time, even if it was to work.
The idea is for it to
Honestly,
not
cool,
look
though.
hilariously fucking jank, I think.
And also,
Yeah.
like, if you
Basically
actually
avoid being Blue Mountain whenever that's possible.
Oh yeah, because the fucking rocks. Fucking.
So Bowler asks, wait, console commands to spawn items, is this a new thing or am I dumb? It's a script I put together for some custom video stuff, and then I ended up using it for this kind of testing later. So, gorgeous, super fun despite being simple. I think my one worry is that on normal speed, it might tip that delicate balance between fun and simple to, like, item shitfuck driving doesn't matter.
like cut
Nah.
maybe a little bit close to the end, but we'll see. Needs more user testing.
Fickle asks, anyway, are you gonna do another stream like this later? If there's interest. I'd like to think that most of my critique has not been useless caustic bullshit. And that
Well, you'll
people
know
benefit
what-
from
you'll know
first-time impressions. But hey, congrats to Chenji for making the first map I've ever played in this game that I didn't get lost in.
That's a shock, because considering Obsidian Oasis and Shuffle Square, I'm shocked. These maps have
Obsidian
terrible
Oasis
direction
actually
issues.
remains, I think, one of the most readable layouts that is still in some way, like, somewhat complex. Also, like, good color map. Agreed, 10 out of 10. Alright, so I've got DMs stacking up. Soup Bowler sent me something.
Did you still want to do Plum Pack?
Is Plum here?
No, Maple requested that.
Okay. Because I've got people DMing me their own shit. And
would
so I'd like to
prioritize-
prioritize people who are, like, here to receive the critique.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good.
But yeah, I'll hit Plum Pack if there's a gap. Alright,
Well, I'm gonna
don't
hop
sell
in.
my soup please.pk3.
I'm gonna sell your soup.
Alright, I'm hopping out. Bye,
This
y'all.
soup is
Okay.
not for profit.
Okay.
If you paid for it, you have been scammed.
Damn it.
Alright, so that's 5 maps. And I'm actually not sure which of them they are. Let me fucking screenshot the console ad so I can just go to them by code.
So what's your bitrate, by the way?
6,000?
Okay, so that is an issue. I was looking at the way my map looked and like. The
Oh
bit
yeah,
rings
no,
going
it's
to shit, yeah.
I'm sure it'll compress terribly. There's only so much you can do about that. Now what you need to do is
without
add
ruining
what you
the
need to do is add
visuals.
custom HUD that puts raindrops on the screen for no reason, just to shit on the compression even more. Like lean all the way in.
Yeah.
And Festival
Shit's
asks,
gonna
what are
look
track
like Game
design
Boy
tips you would
Advance
give to
video.
add extra layers of decision making outside of trying to follow your racing line as optimally as possible? I mean, the high effort stuff is just fucking multiple paths and different set of things that present you with new lines depending on where you are bumped to or like what kind of fucking stats you're working with. Like, I think what mainly gets me is when a course is super prescriptive about what its optimal line is, in the sense that like they just dump boost pads and be like, hit all the pads for a perfect time, otherwise fuck you. Alright. So a lot of these are going to be GF Rock WIPs, I think. So, immediate boost versus item trade-off. And it kind of looks like you can hit both from the outside before realizing that it's kind of awkward. So that's the
Cheeseland.
actual cut. Wait, this is a fucking port, isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
Cheeseland.
Oh my
I
god,
like
this
it.
is Cheeseland.
That's sick. I like that.
Alright.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is the 8 version. Too.
Yeah,
Cool.
the 8 version.
The 8 version.
With the fucking kickin' soundtrack.
This
Yeah,
is
I'm
one of my
actually
favorite
surprised
tracks.
this layout seems to work pretty well. Also, please ignore all texture alignment errors you see on my stream. They're a consequence of the OpenGL build that I'm using, I think. So if you see, like, screwed up pads, there's a good chance it's not your fault.
Rocket sneakers look super strong on this map.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Can you imagine fucking hard sneaker rocket sneakers? Actual
Delicious.
10-second laps.
It's like hard sneakers or rocket sneakers into SPB trailing you instantly.
Yep.
Oh no.
Like not even taking first, just straight into SPB.
Yeah, for people who are watching, I should clarify that the wall texture that's being used here is basically texture number 1 in Zone Builder. And it's typically used when prototyping layout stuff. The visuals on this course are definitely not final. Or even close to it.
Grow seems like it would be also worth here as well.
Why are these short ramps better than the
Turns
ones in
aren't too
Mario
hard to
Kart?
grow.
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like
All day.
this for a port, this feels like it transitions pretty well. I'm reading chat and you're saying that you plan to add a little bit of variance to it. I think Kart Crew devs would probably snap at you for the red spring jumps, but I personally like them.
Curious, why would that be?
These short ramps are so much better.
Kart Crew dev has a fucking issue with red spring jumps in general because they make jump interactions kind of samey because you have full control.
I see.
It's pretty easy.
And
And
I
you can-
agree with that to an extent. I think a lot of the time, like, it's more interesting to have a jump that you can, like, fuck up or land in meaningfully different positions from. That's full ass. My question is, how do you avoid optimal lines occurring as players learn your track? Oh, I don't, like, there's gonna be an optimal line for sure. Like, I don't even necessarily think it's worth, like, if you try to stop people from doing fucking high-end optimization corner shaving shit, you just create annoying tracks with like hazards fucking everywhere. I'm more speaking kind of speculatively because like there's not a lot of reacting to anything you're going to be doing in Record Attack. The issue is when in net games in particular, players are not doing anything interesting with regards to driving and instead given kind of like an open playfield to screw each other up with items. That's not an interesting interaction. In Record Attack, everything's kind of different. It's like, you're not reacting to shit in Record Attack. If you bump a wall or do anything off your line, you're restarting. Which is why I don't really Record Attack. Alright, Mushroom Kingdom, huh?
Mushroom Kingdom. Is this a new version?
So fucking wary of ported textures.
Who here has actually played Tetris DS?
Cute detailing here. I have.
Good.
It's a very, very good game. A very good fucking taste, by the way.
I had it and then I lost it.
Oh, that got changed. That got changed from a yellow spring to red spring.
I believe
like
this
that.
is the first time I've
Good.
played this outside of like maybe once on Discovery, I think.
This grass texture feels
Ooh.
like a golf course.
That feels super blind.
Ah! That's still kind of blind.
Yeah, a pit level with the floor. That's pretty tough. Oh, cute. We got the fucking the fire spinners. I dig.
I like the corners.
I'm
too.
never ever sure whether this sign means there totally isn't a cut here or there actually isn't a cut here. Like, maybe it's just a personal scruple, but do not enter signs in racing games. I feel like have a 75% chance to mean do enter every single time you have the opportunity. My brain's broken. Oh, this does actually move. Huh. That's a neat feature, yeah. I think generally speaking, contrast is good here. Pretty easy to read.
Woo!
I screwed up this section twice now, and I'm not sure whether it's just me. I know there is a cut there, but my gut says fucking gigantic open road in front of me, use the sneaker, and then I realized the cut is like 5 seconds later.
I love this grass texture.
Bad at game. Is there? That's huge bait. Look at that. The fucking...
It reminds me of bowling
Welcome
bedrock.
to the sad corner with the fucking Bowser portraits on it.
Would
Listen,
you like?
there's one way to improve this map, and it's include a Hella Jeff portrait in there.
No.
Exactly. So, aesthetically, I really, really like this. It would have been really easy to just use fucking ported textures and make a boring layout and call it a day. But there's a lot going on here that I really appreciate. Just fucking... in terms of aesthetics, it's taken me for a ride, which I appreciate. This is kind of a weird sequence to read initially because... maybe it's just me, but the fucking switch in floor color here, swapping up for a second. I appreciate that you made the gigantic moving floor section bright fucking orange to draw your attention to it. Use of color is so fucking easy to overlook. Let's actually take the cut here. I should clarify, by the way, about a lot of my critique is that, like, I think the standard rule when doing anything fucking requiring creative expertise is, like, listen to critique, don't ever listen to people tell you how to fix shit. Because people are really good at articulating how they feel about certain sections of a map or about fucking certain sections of a piece or whatever. But then when you ask them how to fix it, they'll give you the wrong answer every fucking time. Because they don't have that expertise. And I don't map, so I'm not gonna have the answers for anything that isn't like fucking... wow, that sure is a upward sloped 180-degree turn. That's the really easy shit. You haven't taken the underground shortcut yet. Well, I'll give you one guess as to why that is.
Where?
Because I'm blind.
You have to bust a wall, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Did I hear Puyo?
So it's in the underground section, so... all the fucking way
Go
back?
back all the way.
I rarely
It's time
should have
to
just
go back.
restarted. I totally fucking...
Nah, you're almost there.
misjudged.
You're almost there. You were there. You were there.
Alright, so... bustable wall, huh? Is
It's right in front of you.
Ha! I never would have found that if somebody
That
hadn't
does
told me
not
it was
look like a
bustable
bustable wall.
Yeah,
That doesn't look
that is my
real to
one
me.
critique of this map. Like I've had that issue with it before.
Give me like the Zelda bomb cracks or something, but that just looks like a weirdly detailed wall. Nothing about it suggests that it's breakable, especially considering that breakable walls aren't really used as a base game feature. I'm also not sure how to efficiently take the fucking spiral turn here, which is probably a good thing. If it were easy, it wouldn't be worth doing. Bonk.
Whoa!
So yeah, I think... I mean, you saw me stumble on every section that I didn't immediately understand. I don't have any complaints outside of that, really, except for, I mean, like, we already covered the shortcut. There's also Easter eggs if you care. Well, you can't have me fucking cheat and reveal those. People have got to find them for themselves.
Ooh.
Gotta preserve the mystery. Alright, Winter Garden. Immediately I like this aesthetically.
You're too blind to see it.
Mario Hoops, though?
Yeah.
Mario Hoops, though!
It's also your thing because you're too blind to see it.
Let's go.
It's very powerful.
Everyone uses the CD version and not the in-game version.
CD version. Also, that
Am
was
I
changed.
stupid? That looked like
Yeah.
part of the road. That,
I thought that was off-road, to be honest.
yeah, it's like maybe off-road at the most, but not water. That seems tricky to read. That's an interesting turn.
That looks pretty good.
Oh, a lot
Wait,
of
this
is
got
different.
changed.
Yeah, a lot of this is different.
Alright. Correctly signaled 180 right angles here. I can definitely see net game situations where your attention would be pulled away from those and you'd miss the signs up top, though. So maybe some kind of leading line or something like that. I think the ice is generally positioned pretty well here, so that if you take turns by intuition and ignore the ice, it doesn't ruin your life, but you will slide off your line. Pretty reserved. If it's gonna be a death pit on that first turn, or first-ish, I don't know, then at least don't make it water skip. Also, that looks like it should be possible.
No. Why aren't cool things cool?
Was that fenced for balance reasons, or what? Yeah, this... In general, for the first introduction of... The first meaningful introduction of ice physics in the map, that feels kind of unfairly punishing. Like, even if it were a death pit instead of a water skip, I feel like the worst it should be is off-road. What is... Just draw my attention to the bright red thing that looked from a certain angle like it might be some kind of wacko ramp. Oh yeah, 4 laps, okay. So you have your introduction to this map will contain ice physics that doesn't really meaningfully affect your arc in any way, and then you immediately have a max speed 180 ice turn where punishment for doing it wrong is death, and slow death.
Suffer.
I'd say that section could be kept if you introduce the handling a little bit earlier in the course. But as is, it seems like it comes way... There is a pad there. How many times, if I'm doing this in net games, how many times do I take the left path and not see that? Yeah, good visuals, good fucking music choice. I think the layout is just pretty solid. I'd be wary of the right angle turns, and I mean, we already covered the ice shit. There's another boost in the grass. That's cool. Alright, Mario Kart DS Airship Fortress. So I didn't play Mario Kart DS for any length of time, so people will have to tell me whether this is a faithful ass port or what, but...
From what I played,
more
it's
of a
decent.
reimagining. Get off my head, dickhead. Oh yeah, I think I played this on Discovery once. So. Probably a significantly older version.
I like the Monty Mole hazards, but you can't use
I
them.
honestly think those should be used way more often because they're an interesting hazard type.
Yeah.
They are, but
It's just that they're so context specific.
yeah,
That-
there's those content.
This turn legitimately feels like the endless staircase, where the whole time I'm wondering when it's over and I straighten out.
Yeah,
It makes me
I
so
think I've had that
uncomfortable.
problem too. I've had it in the original and I've had it in this track. It might just be me, but I've had that problem too.
I'm
so
not even
maybe
sure how
it
you'd
might be
address that
addressed.
either, but it does, like, I found myself instinctually checking my acceleration, waiting for the time where I'd have to straighten out.
Yeah, because I think that and like the sloped like speed pad were my only really weird issues.
Try taking it with a rainbow.
Yeah, I should. Although it's probably slower. No! The little variance in the fucking slopes is it actually makes it a little bit more difficult than it would seem at first glance. Hello, Ghost. Idiots!
This spiral in particular reminds me of clock towers.
You fucking take the rainbow, and then you still have like an entire revolution to go before you even exit. And for characters with higher spark rate, because Eve is a shadow clone, that'll be, God, shadow clone makes it sound like some Naruto shit. Because Eve has shadow stats. For characters with higher spark rate, they'll get their rainbow even earlier.
And then they'll die from the SPB.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. That's gotta be hilarious!
Well, this is a bit wider than Daytona, so maybe you could blue chain it.
Yeah, it's probably way more lenient for blue chains and wall bonks. I also like that inside cut there. Just adds a little bit of risk right at the end. We're like riding between the jagged edge of the track. Yeah, I'd imagine, like, if you're playing Omega, you still probably hate yourself when you're there. But yeah, not many complaints on that one. Map lay hell. Nice.
Vanilla Zigzag!
Maple hell!
Oh no!
Oh, snowball? Okay, white on white hazards. One demerit.
DDR Mario mix. Ooh.
Good taste.
I
Like the wood panels here. Good addition to help control friction a bit.
So my favorite thing about this was the unanimous, oh my fucking god, the second people saw what the map was.
So, this is a super fucking knee-jerk
Wait.
suggestion. Every single one of these walls need to be about 700,000 frac units higher.
Can you hit those blue springs for me?
Which... Oh, dear.
The one's right in front
Don't
of
look like short
why?
Supposed to send you back.
They just send you back.
It's supposed to be stuff and it's not how.
But yeah, that red wall in particular is blocked by the item set when you're approaching. It's like there's a little bit too much visual confusion to reliably tell from a distance that there is an obstruction there.
Oh my god.
Dude, please tell me all of these pipes fucking vacuum you in Mario Circuit style.
No.
That's the sound of fucking post-traumatic stress disorder for anybody listening. Ow. Min says certain blue springs will actually send you into the water as well. That's pretty good. So I think it says a lot that despite this track actively trying to ruin your life and including track features that serve no purpose other than to make you sad, still more fun to drive on than Vanilla Lake 2.
Yeah.
Right?
Dang.
No, like I'm actually having fun, legitimately.
Like
I
little
keep
wooden
telling
panels
people, you
that
give ice physics a little bit of fucking room to breathe and let people actually, like, experience the effect it has in their momentum in a situation where it doesn't instantly ruin your fucking career. And people can get cozy with ice physics.
So one
That
that
said,
doesn't make you
I
turn
don't know
in the
why
same
any
direction.
of that area is traversable.
This feels like a 2-lapper rather than a 3-lapper.
I'm shit, so grain of salt.
I think it literally was 2 laps. Like before. I don't know if it like got changed.
Maple says Vanilla Lake has plenty of room. I feel like there are sections where you're expected to take turns too tightly while still adjusting to ice physics. This is very
I didn't
friendly.
even notice that row of red springs. That actually seemed like
I get the impression that this isn't meant for my critique.
It is a hell
Like,
map, right?
It's the way that it is because because reasons. But even with that in mind, I don't have a lot to complain about. I actually like that. Just be wary of some of the off-road cuts. Maybe mark them a little more clearly, or like raise the walls so that they're more obvious. Subalar says this was an in-joke involving the zigzag and simulation grounds in Maple Liking Vanilla Lake. That's why it exists. That's valid.
Good.
Go for it.
CEOs of Vanilla Lake.
Oh
gonna
man,
split for
I'm
now.
getting so many
Okay.
DMs.
Take care, Genji.
Bye.
This was a good idea.
All right.
I mean that sincerely.
Does anybody know a Rai 104N?
Who?
I do.
Oh, the person that joined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the relative odds this unlabeled WAD is going to be like a Terry WAD or something?
Oh,
Do I have to
no.
check it on
No.
Slade first?
It won't be.
It won't. It shouldn't be.
Okay. I'm just like checking to make sure that people like literally know anyone who's DMing me shit, so I don't like open up a fucking screamer or something.
Say goodbye to your knees.
Add file. K Street. Today I learned I don't know how to spell street while on stream.
Hey, everybody. This is Reeve.
Map X. Fucking map X1. This is from Rai104N via DM. Cart Street.
Cart Street. Jinx. Oh, I have seen this before.
Unless says turn on mute mic and check voice text. Uh-oh!
Thing on your stream is just like raid drama.
That's my default. That's my default panic button. I have it on my main set.
Yeah, I've seen this before. I remember seeing it in custom courses, bits and pieces.
Whoa! What the fuck?
Huh?
Okay.
Whoa!
So I realize I probably took that in a super unanticipated way. But it wasn't obvious to me that that was like... Oh, hello there. Smaller SPB?
SPV missile impact.
Yo, it's cute.
I like it.
Compact missile.
Please change that missile to make a tiny wee noise at all times. Exactly like that.
This level doesn't seem fully themed, but it kind of reminds me of like a car chase getaway kind of thing.
Yeah, the music helps
Like
with
police
that.
chasing you.
Oh god, it's Dimps Boosters!
Yes! Thank
That's
you,
hilarious,
Glaber, for
actually. Oh, I thought the fucking cone said collision. Yeah. It seems like it has a nice mix of technical bits and just like, haha, go fast. I do not fucking... Okay, also no checkpoints, right? Yeah. I don't understand those jumps. That doesn't read to me as anything except I'm about to hit a wall that was placed in a dead end. I should probably try outrunning that with no shoe to get a feel for how it follows. Hey there. Okay, so it's pretty lenient. Jin says they were in Sonic 3, you hack. I know, but when you have a line of 20 of them, they're Dimps Boosters.
Dang. Dimpsters.
Yeah, this is... I'm struggling with some of these turns as, like, not exactly an elite player, but still someone relatively decent at the game. So I think in net games, things can get really cluttered really quickly. But I dig the layout, I dig the music choice. The fucking mini-missile is an excellent gimmick.
It's cute.
Very cute.
It's very powerful.
I get the feeling that if I turn on normal speed, these turns will start seeming like appropriately difficult.
Here it comes.
Small boy. Yeah, like drifting outward there and hitting the fucking outside edge of the turn before even getting to a blue feels a little strange.
I really dig this layout.
I'm always so unsure when my complaint comes down to turns too hard. Because this is really fun. Like, I'm already feeling like, okay, maybe if I approach it from this direction. Hey there, friend.
Might be tough with 16, but totally acceptable with 4 or 6 or 8.
Yeah, for like, for smaller net games, I think it could be pushed in this state and be like a perfectly satisfactory technical course. Maybe just like add something for people like me who are super anxious when they're rolling up on what they think is a wall. So those jumps are a little more obvious. Overall, I dig though. And I think the fucking boosters, the way they're used here, is a lot more interesting than putting dash panels in the same spot. Which is what I would probably expect after playing Joker Cup.
Ooh, a clip. Better mute my microphone.
Yeah, like just barely hitting the fucking edge like that, where you know that your fucking back wheels are like 1 frac unit away from death. That's why I'm so worried to ever tell people make the turn easier. Like, how many laps have I done on this while not really noticing? It's fun! Oh, this is off-road. I'm assuming that's just not textured that way yet. Oh no. Okay, we made it! Looks like it might be failable on normal, though. I'm not sure.
Okay, nice clip, but I was the one who made the sound, not Runa.
Distant Runa noises.
Yes.
Meh.
Just several repeated whas in the distance. Yeah, so, your evidence, this layout actually being good, is me having done like 6 laps on this without really noticing, and basically eliminating wall bonks. I still think it might be a little bit too tough in net games, but only because it's the technical turns combined with the fact that the road is pretty narrow throughout, and so trap items causing you to deviate from your line are going to be super common. The turns right after the springs, yeah, I think I agree with them being... Maybe extend the landing area a little bit, because they become ridiculously fragile if you're going for a drift store. Plus, the springs don't seem to send you, like, straight in one direction, so... Bonk! Gimme. Thank you.
Give the shoe.
But yeah, I'd be super worried about, Seaside has the right idea. I think I'd be worried about mines on turns like this, where like sloped plus narrow roadway, plus it can hit a large portion of the turn. Bonk. Yeah, but still getting a feel for how drift storing interacts with the large jumps. But I think apart from the jumps being a little finicky, I really dig this. Bowler says maybe the boosters can be used for one-way paths. There you go, that's how you block off your mirror section. You just have it fucking chuck you in the other direction.
Great.
Easy. Yeah, see, like when you hit it like that, that's perfect. And then like be very slightly off on the next one and get sent to the fucking Shadow Realm. And I think this is mostly like GFZ rock levels of texturing right now, which is why the off-road isn't marked. This does feel like that's an in-dev type thing. I dig. Good music choice, fun layout, unique gimmick that I really didn't expect to see at all. The mini missile. I just want it to make a sound. I want it to be the cutest thing on the planet. Pretty cool. Getting some feedback in another chat. Thank Lat for the mini SPB.
Yes.
Is it Lat Lua Wizardry?
Lactic pudding.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. Let me bring up the music def again so that people can get the name of this. Urban Freeway. It's fucking Aquapaza!
I feel like I've heard that. I feel like I've heard that name before.
That's anime.
Aquapaza is the best fighting game you've never played. Aquapaza's actually hype as shit. Alright, shit, what else do I have lined up? I think I have one more DM to clear, and then after that, somebody mentioned Plum Pack, and somebody else mentioned Milk, which I think we attempted to set up in a private game, and then the server lit on fire. Not sure what was going on with that, but hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Oh. No? Okay.
Alright. Alright, so Tag has something for me.
Ooh.
Does Tag actually map outside of like the changes made to Rev, or?
I think he does. I don't remember.
Oh shit. Let's see.
Excuse me.
Map C0. That was an interesting load time. Alright. Aesthetically interesting already. I've always said that if I want to go into mapping, I want to do something like super minimal and high vis like this. There's the fucking Cannonballers music! Whoa. Potential performance issues ahead. I dropped to 70 when I usually, like, on vanilla maps, I'm comfortable at like 400 and only frame rate limit for G-Sync. So big potential performance issue in that spot. Not actually sure what's causing it off the top of my head.
Might be the reflection.
Oh wow! Yeah, I didn't even notice those. Shit! What is the trick for the reflections here? Is it just fucking mirrored map geometry?
You would have to ask Tag, but I think that's what it is.
Should probably take that cut area. Something about the red floor makes me think that it's all gonna be a fucking damage zone.
This was done by Tag, he said.
That's a fun turn.
I dig that jump.
I've noticed that there's a couple turns that I think just because of the complete lack of height variance are difficult to read like that. And this also doesn't read as an entrance to an alt route to me right away. Because you've already established red as the color for don't go here, it's a wall. So it takes a minute for the context switch. Yeah, again, a little bit tricky.
Well, that sounds kind of weird.
I think the most pressing thing is probably the performance, because if I'm going to 70 FPS here in OGL on a Ryzen 9 3900X and a 2070, fucking little Timmy on his mom's HP Elite book, dead.
He dies.
Dead instantly. House on fire.
Medic.
And yeah, no checkpoints, obviously, because... Yo, do you know how annoying it is to fucking maintain checkpoints when a map's layout is already, like, in flux? Checkpoints in V1 are the worst. So yeah, this is... I'd say the S-turns are probably the weirdest sections to read, and could maybe be improved with introducing a little bit of height variance. Although you've specifically avoided that in this whole layout, which I'm not sure whether it's a deliberate choice or whether you just haven't gotten around to spicing up the basic route yet. But yeah, I dig.
Boom.
Obviously, music taste baiting me personally, which is cheating. Super strong aesthetic if you can work out the performance issues. I feel like all... This turn I keep stuttering on because it's not clear to me how far away it actually is. Maybe this is gonna sound dumb, but for long straights into turns like that, maybe some kind of fucking a little bit of extra scenery reference to give you a feel for where you actually are along the road. Hanu asks, how's this map dropping the FPS, lol? Stupid hacks! And yes, this is on fucking HMOD, so... It's even worse on vanilla, I'm sure. Yeah, just I assume there's gonna be more scenery objects around, like, the start of the map, and so this will be a little bit easier to read. And I think it'll improve a lot of the turns in this area as well, just to have some sort of other reference for distance that isn't the fading grid lines. So cool.
Great.
I'm down. I want to see where this goes. And I get the feeling you were probably aware of most of the issues that I had to begin with, because they're not particularly complicated, but... Yes, the map does run like trash. Yes, turns without scenery are a little bit more difficult than turns with scenery. Everything else? Yes! Let me actually do a camera rotation here. So if I get out here... 151, V-synced. Look back here, 70. Yep! So there you go. We found the problem, and unfortunately that's something that should probably be addressed before you build the rest of the scenery, because it's going to be a problem that's going to cascade on itself and only get worse. Man, performance issues are so shit, though. I know, like, L-Dog has basically lost all motivation to work on U-Pack after it turned out that fucking quintuple stacked FOF parking lot panic ran at like 10 FPS in software.
It did.
More reasons for us to fucking drop the software renderer entirely. But my visual portals, I don't know. OpenGL has gotten so much better with the community work on it as well. Fucking, between interp, just like interp and correct perspective is such an upgrade over the base game. And then like you add the performance fixes, backported, and then shit like the fucking draw call batching nonsense from Hanu's build. It's gotten so much better. Alright, so what else do I have? Is anybody familiar with a geothermal fortress?
Oh, I've seen that on the MB.
Get those now.
Okay, so it's an actual map.
Yeah.
The person who is DMing this to me, we have had quote-unquote beef in the past, so I just wanted to be sure it was an actual file.
I'm taking all of your files.
Yeah, I'm gonna take your candy. Let me actually...
I'll take that.
Thank you, I'm so... I feel less alone when people get terrible references like that. Alright, there's no script, so we're safe. Smile. Alright. Add file, wo.wad. Alright, Geothermal Fortress. Oh boy. When you clip out of bounds with the starting camera.
That's
that
my
is
favorite.
Nice. The best.
You. Stunt race.
So yeah, so if you're gonna do a 90-degree turn, that's a good way to do it, is to fucking... The elevation difference helps a lot with readability. And then as soon as I say that, the, Oh, this is actually a... The fuck?
Whoa! That's weird.
That was very
This feels kind of like a Joker Pack situation, where the signage is pointing to the main route, sure, but the only thing you can see is the cut.
Yeah.
Actually, if I approach this at speed, I wonder...
It's pretty common to have a C turn, then cut through the C with a cut.
You can
It's an easy way
almost
to
make
make
it.
If only
Ow.
if
Wait,
only it
the
wasn't
fuck?
sloped downwards.
That's a thin fence.
That's
It's
way
a
closer
railing.
than it looked.
Wow. If that wasn't sloped downward, you could have made the cut.
So there's definitely, there's potential here. If you take this at speed, even without shoes, it looks like you can get something of a time save.
Might be able to take it with the red and take both.
Yeah.
If you charge mini turbos
That's
in
for
the air,
sure.
maybe.
That's a speculation.
Okay, so there is a time save there. You can probably hit the pad as well. The what? The fucking what?
Volcano cut, dude. I've seen this before. Why is it moving faster?
I want to
think
know
it's take it on
what
the
that
side.
looks like when you take it legitimately.
Like, you're supposed to jump into the volcano
Yeah.
and then bounce forward still.
Let's head into the volcano.
Yeah, so this section seems to be a little light on visual interest, but then the crates show up and I'm like, wait, no, I take it back. Give me less detail, please. No crates. He says, yo, Tyron, do a doodle jump on that volcano. Die! Alright, hold on. Super Roller's asking for a test with Grow. Bonk their forehead at the start. Oh, on the, Did I not? I guess if you use Grow before you start, you don't get the effect.
Interest.
No, you got some clearance. It seems like a lot of the visual interest here is like happening way higher than you'd normally be looking while playing it. Main path here is... Okay, it's the other volcano. Oh, it's a death plane. Is that... What the fuck is going on with this set of spike balls? Is that like you clipped an SRB2 boss into the volcano?
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it is.
I
Yeah.
think that is. There's Excalibur in there.
I don't play vanilla for what it's worth, so I'm taking random guesses. See,
Volcano boss.
I think far and away the most egregious issue is everything about the approach to that cut.
The exit is jank.
The exit is pretty bad because you basically have to fucking take a guess in order to not immediately bonk that wall and fall into the lava. But the fact that it's presented as the main route, when the actual main route, the one that doesn't kill you, is literally invisible to you and you just have to trust a sign instead of looking directly at the route that's in front of your face and the only obvious way to proceed. Like, plus the fucking box is coming up on this. Like, I think the quick fix would probably be to just remove these crates and then fucking chop off the corner here. So that you can actually get a little bit of a lead into, like, the proper path. Because right now, you approach this and there's no visuals on it at all. You're approaching this, right road is blocked, kind of visible. And by this point, you've already committed to taking the bad route. Other than that, layout's pretty fun. Decent amount of variance. I like this outdoor section, and I think it's probably pretty cool that you can get something of a time save on hard sneaker list there. Gives you something interesting to do. Volcano Cut looks, part of me wants to say this is outrageously jank, but I also think it's amazing. Mostly just trying to actually, like, slow enough so that I can fucking hit it initially. So it was either break or get a different angle. The fact that it depth planes you doesn't feel particularly necessary. For instance, I'd rather make my cuts hard. I'm hoping you're referring to Volcano Cut and not to the cut that has literally no challenge except having done it once before. Yeah, I think, I actually feel like an entire section could be constructed out of, like, sideways spring panel Volcano Cut nonsense. I'm not sure I agree with putting it directly on top of a fucking SRB2 boss as its first introduction. I get that it's not meant to be the main route, but I think it's actually... That's too interesting to leave it as just, like, kind of a janky gimmick. Maybe expand on that a little. I don't know. But yeah, otherwise, layout's pretty good. Conveyance outside of the one cut is pretty easy. I didn't feel like I was struggling to play it first time. I think a lot of the right angle turns are going to present problems with mines, especially in spots where the crates cut off basically half of the available lane. But other than that...
Honestly, mines are pretty rare in the item rotation anyway.
But I'm still against situations where any type of item is effectively unavoidable. Which is why I'm also kind of wary of, like, super tough corners leading to long straightaways. Because, like, it's the easiest thing in the world to just chuck an Orbinaut back, and because you have no variance in how you exit the turn leading up to the straightaway, it's just a matter of, did my attacker time it correctly? Porter.
Yikes.
But yeah, excited to see how that evolves. I do dig what's there outside of the scruples. Alright, I think I've worked through my DMs. Do I have to fucking... What was it, Plum Pack?
Yeah.
Alright, let me go find that.
The most recent version is 1.3, and it's also kind of broken.
Good.
At least the first track is broken.
1.3.
Yes!
This is a 3-course track? 4? Or a 3-course pack? 4-course pack? I'm a little bit wary that this suggestion came from Maple. Am I wrong?
You might have some things to say about the second track. I'll just say that.
Okay, first demerit is denoting version 1.3 as V1-3.
Yeah, I know.
Minus 500 out of 10. Delete your computer.
I was wondering why that was placed above the other older versions.
Yeah, it's... I mean, I feel the same way when people date stamp stuff in the wrong order. Please use your month day, fuckers. Alright, let me get a list of the map IDs here. Pickle says decimal points and WOD versions, ... See, the patrician way of versioning things is when you have a new version, the number goes up by 1. That's it. No subversion shit, no semver nonsense, that can all get thrown out the window. If the update was good enough for you to release it, they don't need to know that it was major, minor patch, or hotfix. They need to know there's a new version and it's better. One number. One number. I think the exception, I use timestamp versioning on a lot of my server repacks because it's entirely possible that those will just sit in people's directories and cause problems for them, and I want an obvious, like, when it's okay to fucking ditch them. Anyway. Map L2. Rustic Joyride.
The top path is broken.
Alright,
You can see it.
what the fuck?
I'm just gonna
What?
say that's unfinished.
It's finished.
That
it just
looks
got
like
broken.
a vertex slope that just didn't get tested at all? I don't know.
It was fine in older versions, but it just broke in this version.
Okay, so we're gonna treat that path as though it doesn't exist because it should be pretty obvious. Am I stupid?
Yeah, it kind of felt like you were supposed to get turning right there.
Yeah,
It looks like a left turn, actually.
that seems completely untelegraphed, and not only is it all ground level, but the item set is blocking the small amount of the extra of the turn that you'd actually be able to see. Yeah, that seems pretty egregious. What? Wow, that's really subtle. I don't know about
think-
that.
I'm gonna say that also looks like a vertex thing,
Yeah,
but I don't know.
also, this seems confusing to me because this is happening in the same area as an actual shadow. So in this area, we have brown on dark brown on dark brown, and the brown is normal road, and the dark brown is normal road, but the other dark brown is off-road. Pick something else to... See? Same shit. Pick something else to represent this, please. I dig the fucking scenery objects, though. Pretty cute. But I don't know who that is. The fucking lead into these turns is better than I expect for, like, right angle stuff. That section, at least, is reasonably readable. I
key
must know.
Woo!
Okay, and here's, like... This is actually a super cute alternate path thematically.
It's a pretty good angle.
Honestly, kind of reminds me of, like, MK8 alt paths. Kind
It's like a silver cloud path, except it was good.
What if Silver Cloud upper path was actually a gain?
Whoa.
Yeah, that route seems really, really strong up there, actually. Maybe leave the slope broken.
Dang.
Alright, Showtime Showdown.
Oh, here we go.
Showtime
You're gonna
spelled
love
with a
this
W.
one.
Negative 500 out of 10. Delete zone builder.
You're gonna love this
How
one.
am I reasonably expected to hit this pad?
You hit it on
Especially
lap
when
two,
it's
of course.
invisible to me
Yeah.
as I fucking drop down.
You hit it in lap 2. Because lap 1, you're probably gonna be boosting by it.
That's a really tightly spaced set.
Woo.
Weird encouragement to mash. These are super blind. Oh boy.
I do like the arrows on the slope, though.
Yeah.
Those are really visible.
I dig the verticality of this. I feel like a lot of these turns would benefit from some kind of leading line. Seaside says, I
You might
saw
be
it
able
on
to
lap
fly
1
out.
though and ran into it. Alright, you are very cool. You feel acknowledged? No, I'm not mad, you're mad. So we have the ground markers for the turns, but I don't know, I'm always going to be a stickler for, like, telling me where the path is not the same thing as showing me where the path is. So we have 2 blind dash panels and a couple slightly questionable turns. I don't know how I feel about that ending slope, by the way. The one that I awkwardly tipped over.
That slope is really strong. People have failed SPB runs to that.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine SPB running on this. It's probably insanely frustrating because of that ending section.
This is the part where I take all the maps we tested today and SPB attack them.
Welcome to die. Yeah,
You
so
can probably kill yourself on that ramp really easily.
Yeah, that ramp seems like it has a lot of variance. I actually want to give that another run.
Well, the fact that you want to give it another run means it has potential, right?
Yeah, no, this is a solid layout. I think there are rough edges. I don't understand why place items in these, I kind of want those to be boost rings again instead, but there's not enough space for them.
The second run, I kind of actually am okay with that beginning boost pad.
It's one of those things. Both that pad and this pad seem super unfriendly to me for the specific reason that they are completely unsight readable. By the time you see them, you've committed to being there or not. I think you're tolerant. Oh no, that's
Yeah, this is exactly what I was gonna say.
gotta go. That's gotta go. I don't care how it gets fixed.
Yeah, you have to drift store there too if you're being chased by SPB.
Yeah, so if you have to drift store, maybe offer a lower speed safe route, like Blue Springs on the edges or something. Chromation stirs from fucking sleep filled with nightmares. Someone suggested to fix a map problem by adding springs. Oh yeah, absolutely not.
Look at that.
Either open up this section so that it doesn't kill you, or add a safe way to guarantee that it doesn't kill you. Can't wait for the fence riding. Yeah, because like opening that section up or adding a lower, slower path would be the high effort way. The low effort way would be to paste Blue Springs on both edges of that ramp and call it a day. Wolf says, what's the point of the ramp if it's just 50-50 certain death or go directly forward?
Look how
Yeah,
much speed.
it's definitely kind of tricky. I think it's one of far and away probably the most punishing section of the map, and for it to be right before the end, I mean, if I apply the same logic I do to, like, Fickle's courses, like, I'll certainly fucking remember it. It's memorable. I don't know. That's pretty crazy. And Festival asks, watching the stream, I understand your thought process for what isn't a success, but I don't understand what makes things exemplary. I'm not a mapper. If I knew how to make good things, I think I'd probably be mapping right now instead of doing this. I think right now I'm just hoping to fucking primarily offer people a perspective from somebody who has both hilarious levels of visual perception issues and is, like, relatively articulate.
This map is my favorite out of Bomb Pack.
Definitely strong visuals right out the gate.
Kind of reminds you of
The low ceiling feels a little cramped, but definitely has, like...
The low ceiling is very bumper cars like.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking. It's like I'm at my fucking local amusement center, and what the fuck? Okay.
These turns are kind of weird though.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm like at my local amusement center and winding down from a rousing game of laser tag, and discovering that the Pump It Up machine has broken pads on both player 1 and player 2 side, with some fucking bumper cars.
I like the little ramp and the Go For It banner.
Yeah.
Cute.
You know, there's cute detailing here. I think the aesthetic executed pretty fucking well. Where's this music from?
It's original.
Is this the first pack release that actually does that?
Probably.
That's fucking cool.
He also made music for the first track.
I've got my fucking game audio pretty low right now because I'm trying to make sure that y'all are audible on stream.
To be honest, this music first reminded me of like Lego Racers.
I'm so fond of the MIDI energy. I mean that 100% seriously, by the way.
Bathroom romance. Funny name. Also, I'm 12.
So this is the only thing where it's like this gigantic fucking block of pink doesn't even read as a wall to me until I'm already fucking slamming on it. But the rest of the layout seems like... I think some of the S-turns are a little bit awkward on hard speed. But, as I am so fond of saying, if your criticism boils down to bad flow, your actual argument is, I suck and I can't articulate why it makes me angry. So... let me give that another run, because that was pretty good. But yeah, Wolf's brings up something that I think is pretty important. The fucking pink wall section, that is trap item hell. Not even just mines, but like normal-ass items, probably unavoidable if placed in the center there.
1 deca banana, please.
Thank you.
Dude, deca banana in that lane. Fucking kill me immediately. Jeffro says, well, every synthesized music is MIDI. Not true, but I think most people understand that when you say like a MIDI aesthetic or something, it's probably referring to either fucking super old synthesizers or the like Windows General MIDI sound font. I can see a lot of really annoying Orbinaut situations throughout this course. This is definitely the sort of thing that I'd like to evaluate again in a net game, and that's kind of confusing. The big problem with, like... So, like, if you think about, like, if you're gonna do a flat course, then think about the area of the screen that's being used to convey track elements versus the area of the screen that's dedicated to, like, pillars and the ceiling. You have like this really thin strip in the center of your screen that you're watching to figure out what upcoming hazards are. So you gotta be really, really careful that everything reads well at a distance very, very small, because you don't have a lot of space to actually see shit in. Like a big slope turn like this, that's fucking visible from space. It uses all of your available screen space, and so it feels pretty friendly. I'd be kicking myself if I did that in that game.
I wonder how long you can drive
with that. I don't even want to fuck with that.
What did you say?
Well, so people are saying there's a cut that I'm definitely not seeing.
Oh yeah, the
excuse me.
Bless you. The green ramp at the end, that's a cut.
Is that the whole cut?
There's something on the outside that you can jump to.
Oh. Because I was thinking about just riding the rail and seeing how far that could take you.
Because that green ramp, it kind of comes up on you blind here. Oh.
The entire ramp, the entire blue stuff. Yeah, it's over there.
Wow, that's super finicky.
Yeah. Also, you can ride along the entire blue railing.
I'm gonna bail for now. I'll see if I can figure it out for myself. If you do, you'll have done it before me.
Great.
Like, fucking... Besides, I prefer to let mappers fucking solve their own shit, because if I tell people how to construct sections, it's gonna be my map, not theirs. Alright, is that everything, or do we have P6 as well?
One more. It's another Super IndyCar map.
Huh. Is that game any good?
I have no idea. I just
That
knew
was
it had Freedom
super
Planet characters.
scary. That was like outrageously blind, although I think it had enough space that it kind of gets away with it. Yeah, this feels dangerous, but isn't actually too difficult to read, which I kind of like. Oh boy, fuck that on net games though. Like fuck that already, but fuck that twice on net games.
This
Holy
map is
shit.
fast. This map goes in on you.
Yeah, there's no time to anticipate anything, and a lot of the lanes are super narrow. It's like it transitions from like wide sections to super narrow stuff so quickly. And those are all blind as fuck, boy.
You can kind of see them driving
You
up
can
to
see
it. Like,
where the walls you can see where the walls are, but it's not quite as obvious where the paths transition.
yeah, for sure.
Woo.
Woo! Is that actually a path? No, does that have any reason to be modeled? I don't know. Ports is. Let me in!
There used to be a shortcut on this map, but
Okay,
it was
so if you're
removed.
gonna remove that cut, you have to also not have a conspicuous gap in the wall with like a brightly colored road beyond it. Just wall that off. Like wall it off and then maybe put a little like decal there if you want to draw attention to the fact that a cut used to be there.
Well, the cut is actually down here, but yeah, that's also.
So
what
this
it's
is
about.
better than usual because you're given the buildings as a guideline basically for where the next lane of the turn is going to be. But this is still literally 3 gigantic upward steep slopes into blind turns.
I think you can just drive straight through all that.
You can drive
If
straight
you're lined
through all
up
that.
correctly to begin with.
Yeah. And then you eat items, of course. Because
It's kind of like.
Oh yeah, that's the
Pac-Man.
big issue with that is that fucking items are going to be invisible. Like any sort of hazards that are placed in the flat areas, you're basically going blind into them.
I'm gonna drop my Eggman monitor. You can't see it.
Like if I fucking... What is, what did I actually alias this as? I do like... Heh. Check out how visible that is. Invisible, invisible,
No.
invisible. Hey there! And where's your alternative route?
There it is.
So yeah, just for the sake of item play, I'd say that really needs to give you more space to actually see what the hell's going on. Upward slopes are so dangerous, and all of them in this map are vulnerable in that way. This as well, I think. I think if you like eggbox this spot at the bottom of the ramp, it's invisible for a good amount of time lining up. Not
I would
as
say that's
strong.
pretty much undodged.
I'd say at speed, that's not really reactable. Same for here, most likely. Today, I will use a shoe to navigate this section. Oh no. It's like, obviously that isn't the most airtight example, but you can see how a lot of trap placements can become really frustrating like this.
Could
So
you
in
be a
net
favor,
games, it will
Tyrone?
almost be... It will come down so much to who's front running.
So at this ending slope here, can you detonate an egg box as you're going down? I want to see how far it sends you flying.
The ending
That is a
downward
steep
slope?
slope. Yeah,
Does
that's
it
a
have-
steep downward slope.
Does it have physics?
I don't know,
think
but
so.
we'll see.
If it doesn't have physics, it won't launch you.
I mean, with an egg box. Like egg box explosion, SPV explosion, mine explosion, etc. This is a really steep downward
Yeah, no
slope,
physics.
so I want to know. Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Perpsky says, this stage is tight, but I feel like it wasn't really designed for SRB 2K. Well, funny thing about that. Alright,
We
so
have
I guess,
reached
like
full
I did for
circle.
Joker Pack, I'll do one run of each course to basically sum up my thoughts. Nin says, egg boxes that those slopes are guaranteed. People only follow one line. Can confirm. Smooth brain one line guy here.
A classic.
Alright, so a summary of Plum Pack. Thoughts and considerations. You know that slope is broken. The top path up there is really cool thematically, but looks super strong. Those slopes are both invisible and launch you way higher than it looks like they should, even when you know they're there. The off-road in that section is visually confusing because it's also in a shadow patch, which is safe. And I'd say overall these aren't visually distinguished enough because they're level with the ground and basically the same color. Actually, they're sunken slightly, aren't they? Yes, they're very, very difficult to see. Same for this turn, where the route is completely non-obvious because the path only starts becoming visible to you when you reach, like, here. So as you're approaching, that just looks like a wall, and you're thinking, your eye is drawn to the fucking pyramids up ahead. Like, hey, that's where I'm supposed to be, right? And so the first time I played this, I did this. And then it deathplaned me, because fucking why? The section up here, pretty cool. Once again, I'd be a little bit wary of zealous slope use. This jump is cool, and you manage to maintain a lot of your speed, which feels good. Top route, if I can glitch on top of here. God bless model tilt. The transition here is a little awkward and kind of basically requires you to notice a post and take a leap of faith. But this top section is both ridiculously strong, like probably too strong, and just generally fun and neat looking. Aesthetically, like the visuals.
Whoa.
You see that fucking stationary drift? I don't think the existence of the off-road patches is introduced strongly enough here. If you're gonna have the off-road continue to be a hazard, which I think you probably should, then probably do the opposite of what you're doing and raise it instead of lowering it for visibility reasons. So that's that. Showtime Showdown. I can say right away, in case I forget, the ending jump is super crazy. Either add a safe way to take it, or expand the path so that it's significantly less likely to be lethal. This pad and a pad later in the course feel unfair blind, because you have to line up for them without seeing them first. I think I have a stronger aversion to that than most people, so take it with a grain of salt. I've seen other people in chat saying that it's fine. This pad is the other one that I have a problem with. This ending jump has super lethal potential if you're even a little bit off. The strong upward slopes here, I'll reiterate because we talked about it a little bit in the last course in the pack. These upward slopes are huge targets for trap items, and basically will turn net games into a complete shitfuck, so...
Also, the upward slope has SPV problems, so
yeah.
keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, if you're even slightly off, this can present some very scary stuff, and if you take it slowly, it feels like you have to basically crawl over. Also, you get an item here, and then literally before that item is even finished rolling, you have the opportunity to get another item, so expect people to mash there. If you could open that section up a little bit more, I'd say boost rings at the top of the ramps instead of items would be better, but I don't know. Definitely not a lot of space to do stuff, so I'm not sure what I would do with that section. Remember to drink water.
I always do.
Nice.
Super Center is, I think, my favorite of the courses in this pack, both aesthetically and in terms of layout. Ironically, I think it has maybe the opposite problem the other courses have, where the other courses have really intense, steep slopes that create problems. This course might not have enough vertical variance. I get that it's supposed to be like, this location could exist in real life, and so crazy architecture is like, you know, you want it to have like the fucking bumper car, amusement center, go-kart energy. But strong turns that are level with the road that you're currently on are difficult to read because they don't take up a lot of your screen. So they have to be super clear at a far distance. That cut seems incredibly fragile. I think that's probably okay, and I think it's also really good that if you were going to do an end-of-lap cut, it be positioned to help you at the start of the next lap instead of winning the race for you. Shoutouts to Vanilla Hotel. And it says take it from the left more. I mean, yeah. There's a difference between knowing I should take it from the left and actually, like, fucking taking it from the left at speed. This gigantic pink wall, downward sloped section means that it's not even obvious what I'm looking at as I approach it. And the narrow lane here makes trap items absurdly strong, possibly literally unavoidable if placed correctly, even if they're not wide activation things like mines. Like, somebody could just get hit there and drop a Jaws, and it's a lethal fucking bomb for the rest of the race. Cut is cool, but the exit is a little awkward, especially when it doesn't feel like you have a lot of room to move because you're barely in contact with the ground for any of it. Lots of fucking pads. But I think they're all reasonably difficult to reach on hard speed. You do have to run out of your way. I think almost all of them, maybe none of them have mid-textures?
None.
Yeah, so maybe add mid-textures to the panels to make them a little bit more visible, considering they're really important to getting good times. So, like, knowing that they're there is probably something you should prioritize. Did I? Wait.
Hmm?
Nah, we're good. I thought I fucking saw some potential interaction with, like, riding the ramp. Or not riding the riding the rail. So yeah, probably my favorite of the courses in this pack. Minor readability issues are pretty much the only problem that I have with it. That and the choke. This shit has some crazy upward slope issues going on. Basically every single change in elevation in this course is an opportunity for completely blind trap items that you have absolutely no chance of avoiding on reaction. Like, these turns are easier to read than you would expect for a construction like that because the buildings kind of telegraph where the safe lane is, but it won't save you from traps, and even then, I'd say there's definitely a clear and present feeling of, oh god, oh fuck, where am I going, the first time you play this. I dig the look, though. Oh yeah, and this. If you're gonna wall off what was previously a cut, fully wall it off. Don't give me a bright visual that pops out from the rest of the off-road on the wall here, only for me to discover that it's fenced. Yeah, far and away the biggest problem with this course is the fact that trap items are completely invisible in like 18 spots per lap. It is crazy. Almost every single change in elevation creates the opportunity for unreactable trap items. Griff says, I don't think that was ever a cut, just scenery. Well, it looks like a cut, so make it a cut or ditch it. Or, like, adjust the fucking color there so that it doesn't draw the eye more than the actual turn you're taking does. Soup says, I feel like a map that tries steep uphills like that should make them transparent so you can see the top still. Oh man, that's a lot of detail.
Oh!
It's a wireframe debug mode from HMod, which I've actually found makes a lot of courses considerably more readable. Funny thing about that. I've actually always wanted to make a course that like uses this for basically all geometry, like no solid walls, period. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on that course. I got all... Oh, did I get everything? Yeah, I think I did. I feel like I forgot something, but I don't know why. Did I... Yeah, I think I got it. Wolfie says, wireframe is so good it's borderline cheating. That's actually how I feel as well. On some courses, especially if you have, like, 3D models on for trap items, it actually lets you have unfair information. Probably should not be a production option in HMod, to be perfectly honest. Should require dev mode or something.
He's wall hacking.
I mean, you fucking joke, but like... Let me fucking...
전멸.
What would you call that ability?
Wow.
That's pretty good.
It's cheating, is what it is. Fucking fantastic.
Modded items.
So I've been going for like 3 hours. Is there other shit that I should cover today, or should I save it for like a later thing?
If no one else is requesting, I think it's a good time to call it.
Yeah, I think my DMs are clear. I'll probably send Plum and Joker both time-stamped links, or maybe I should just summarize on text, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, hopefully my criticism wasn't completely useless to people. I'm not a mapper, and I'm not even overly good at this game. Like, I'm pretty fucking good, but I'm hardly an elite player, so all of my perspective comes from the limited place of someone who cares a whole fucking lot about accessibility, and also has... Well, basically I'm blind, so... My sincere hope that some of this proved useful to people who sent their stuff in for critique, and I'll probably condense my thoughts into a slightly more reasonable form for Joker and Plum. I think timestamping the summary section should be enough, but I don't know if I'd personally prefer to receive critique like that. Not sure. I'm gonna ask, do you have time for maybe one more from the rev department? Maybe better to start a future stream, perhaps? That depends on what your release time scale is, I guess. This is a question. Not for a while. Yeah, then it can wait. I appreciate everybody who dropped in on voice with me to help clarify some of the points that I had problems making and bring up stuff that I would have otherwise missed. And I'm gonna fucking go upstairs and pray that there's something in the fridge. Appreciate y'all coming out. Hopefully it was useful. Good night.
Good night.
Night. Nice stream.